All right, everyone, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Got about 90 of you in here right now. Thanks for being here. It's time to kick off another week of us waiting and waiting, and we are going to be doing a couple of things this week leading up to the Resident Evil 4 demo and the Capcom event that is going to be coming up on Thursday as well. So there's going to be a couple of things to talk about. Obviously, I'll be here for a couple hours, answering any RE questions you have or things you want to discuss. And I'll try to get through everybody's comments here. There's a lot of people that fill in here, so thank you guys for coming in. We got King Shadow, Mr. Purple Herb is in the house. What's up? We got our members in here, of course. We got John Lemley, Lucius. I already said Purple Herb. Christine, ACR, Anthony, Yellow. What's up? So we got all our members in here. We got Zero. We got Raiden, Shogum. We got Jennifer's Emporium. So we got SIB Studios and Eric and Aaron. Merker. We have Gary Garcia, Jerome, Krypton Gaming, Samurai Edge, Damon Vector, Jack. Okay. So hopefully everything looks good, sounds good. So this week is an exciting week, guys, because we're trying to actually, count down the days for the showcase, which is, going to be on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the channel on Thursday. I will be live streaming the Capcom event, obviously, so if you want to watch it with me and get my reactions, get our, responses from the community, and hopefully we get a demo that day. If not, then maybe, we'll see what the hell else they kind of tease up for a date. But I would say Thursday is the day that we get a demo drop. That's just what I'm guessing or hoping, I guess, as a fan. But, we'll see what's going on. But let me see if I can get through some of these chats here. It says, do you think that Remake will lead Resident Evil into a new era of gaming? I think it's going to be a pretty big remake. I think it'll probably be their biggest one yet, or the biggest remake of a game yet. I don't know if it's going to transcend gaming like how it did the first time around, because it was still just all new and refreshing when it comes to a lot of the mechanics that they were doing. Here, it's like it's the same mechanics from before, but even enhanced with the parry and the different things. So they're trying to keep the integrity of the original here. So, but I think it'll be I would say that it's going to do very well, and it's going to definitely make people want to, check out other Resident Evil stuff that they've never seen before. You know what I mean? And go back and forward and wherever else they're going. Lucius says, I think Capcom will consider RE7 and 8 a new era to the RE. Yeah, that's kind of what kicked it off, honestly. Yep, the hype is real, SIB Studios. An RE game with remake gameplay and camera. I know that's like in a perfect world, Lucius, because that's my favorite. Sweet Eric, hope you get through your work schedule. Yeah, I mean, yeah, RE7 did it for the last generation of consoles, but I think the remakes are already kind of picking up steam and momentum, especially after Resident Evil 2, and now that a lot of people are checking it out for the first time on the new consoles as well. It just kind of keeps going. Aaron says, was about to head off to sleep, but have opted to stay up a little longer just to hang out. I appreciate that, Aaron Hooper. Appreciate that. Yeah, I know it's late as hell in the UK. Well, it's about 10:47, so yeah, it's pretty much nighttime at that point. So yeah, I know I usually conflict with a lot of the UK schedule when it comes to when I stream sometimes, because I always have to stream in the evening over here, because that's what YouTube likes apparently. 100 viewers in here and only 44 likes. Let's hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Let's talk some Resident Evil 4. I don't think 9 will be first person, but I think it will be a third person over the shoulder, or it'll have probably an option or a choice from the beginning. I don't know. They could do either one. The next game may be third, but support VR and will be the new first person. Yeah, I mean they're kind of just doing the VR thing, all speed ahead with that stuff. Let's see. Game of the year or overhyped, says Jerome. I don't think it's overhyped. I think it can easily be the game of the year, especially if it's the best remake we've gotten in recent years. My favorite remake is still the original remake on GameCube of the first game. But I'm still excited to see what this is, because they didn't disappoint with the remake stuff for me. You know what I mean? I know people say what they want about the third game and whatnot, but obviously I still like 3 Remake a lot, actually. So I still like 2 and 3 Remake. And that's what's been getting me more excited about it. You know what I mean? Hell yeah, LTRE hypes is Purple Herb. Let's see here. You being here is great. Thanks for pushing through. Yeah, I'm trying. Let's see if we can... less than 20 days, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we're getting there. We got Juan Perez tattoo in the house as well, which I like. Purple Herb says, from the graphics and the storytelling, RE4 Remake will become the golden standard, and it will become a challenge to top RE4 Remake heading to the future titles. Yeah. I think that can easily, happen, where it's kind of like, where do we go from here? Which remake do we end up, kind of heading towards next, and will it work? That's the thing. Ray's here. We got, I already said Gary Garcia's here. Rev up the hype train, says Krypton Gaming. Hell yeah. Hype train, what's up, Lewis? Demon Vector, what's up? Danny? Steve? Trying to just shout out everybody here. What do you think about the Garrador and RE4 remake? A rumor says he will be a major boss, not a mini boss. I don't think he'll be a major boss, but I think there'll be multiple Garradors and probably a double fight. I hope so too, Jack. As far as the demo being a one-shot deal, I find that more frustrating than anything when they do stuff like that. So fingers crossed, it's like the original demo of 4, where you can just play it and it just got up to a certain point. Hell yeah, drop those likes, says Purple Herb. Hit the like. Will you be streaming the demo on Thursday if it does release that day? Yes, John. I'm pretty much rearranging a bunch of plans as well. The channel comes first when it comes to, like plans. Like if something breaks for the channel, like I have to cover it. You know what I mean? So I'm readjusting things for that, just in case. Obviously, I don't know if the demo is exactly going to be that day, but considering how they did it with Village, I would assume that it would be that day. And if they don't, then it's fine, because I'm still covering the event. I'm still talking about it. Like, I have to be here Thursday anyway. So my plan for you guys is to cover it on here. Hopefully you guys watch it with me, and you stream it with me, and we can, react to it together, and get excited, because obviously they're showing, Exoprimal and like Mega Man, like other stuff. But like Resident Evil is obviously why we would be watching it, and they know that's why, us fans are watching it, especially after the, the third trailer that said the demo's coming soon, so I'm sure. But I would say Thursday or Friday, to Ray's point, depending on where you live, and even if I got to stay up, I have to stay up and download it, whatever the case may be. If it's on PlayStation first for some reason, like it was for Village, I will obviously, take out the PlayStation and download it on there. That's why having the consoles on hand is important if you're a content creator trying to grow within the gaming space. You got to have these things ready at your disposal just in case. But yes, Anthony says, I'm looking to March 9th and 24th. Mouth drooling. Yeah, we can't wait. We just want to get our hands on it. Back says RE4 remake opinion. I'll kind of get, once I kind of read up the comments, I'll kind of break into some conversation points that I'd like to cut and highlight too. But Resident Evil Dr. Evil, what's going on, man? Jack says, also, I dare say that the remake's Serenity saving track is better than the original from what I've heard. Yeah, I mean, it sounds really good. I obviously want to hear it just like straight up, which, obviously we heard it straight up in the remake without any talking in that footage. But I kind of just want to hear the whole thing with the audio, cranked and stuff like that. But I did really like what I heard of the Serenity thing. I know last, live stream I did of this was right before I covered the full gameplay, as far as like, the full B-roll of gameplay for Resident Evil 4. When I did the live stream last time, the last live stream hangout and video breakdown, at that time of day when I was working on the stuff, the full video wasn't out. And obviously, as the evening hit, everyone flooded me with comments. Anthony, did you see the full B-rolls out? There's more stuff. So I had to do another breakdown and get all this stuff pretty much ready so it could be, released and covered. And hopefully that's the last bit of stuff other than like, the demo. I know like there's, in about a week, you're going to see the first 4 hours probably uploaded by IGN or GameSpot or Game Informer. And my answer to that is, I'm not going to be covering it. At that point, I'm just going to wait. And if I, am able to attain the game early, then I will, obviously I can't post anything. I can't live stream until the embargo is lifted, but I will be covering it, and it will just benefit the channel in terms of, I can actually have content ready and, I can do that stuff. So we'll see, but I'm just letting you guys know that it's going to be pretty crazy spoiler territory from other channels, from other big outlets, in the next couple weeks, because that happened with Village. So, Purple Herb says, I love how the RE4 remake is taking influence from Last of Us, Dead Space, and God of War. I think all of them, definitely took influence from, RE4 originally. So now it's just kind of coming back, coming back full circle. But at the same time, I think I don't really see those influences yet. I think I'll have to play the game and kind of see what they're trying to emulate here. But I think they'll be fine in their own lane. You know what I mean? But I God of War I can't really speak on. Dead Space I can't really say. I can't see the comparison. Last of Us took influence from obviously Resident Evil 4 as well, or just the in some way, shape, or form. I think it kind of. And then Revelations 2 started to kind of copy Last of Us with the crafting and stuff like that. So we kind of saw it go back and forth through the years of one influencing the other. Or they see something that works in another game. Leod Coco says Resident Evil 4 Remake is about 67 gigs, which is drastically bigger than the other remakes. Yes, that's true. It is going to be a massive game. What's up, John? 832. Christine says, same Aaron, I'm staying up to watch too. LTRE, love hype, best on the tube, man. Thank you, Christine. Yeah, I know you're in the UK as well, and you're a supporter and just a fan, and I appreciate that. It's 8:46 a.m. in Queensland, Australia. See, that's why you guys are awesome, because you guys will always check it out no matter what time, or if you guys are getting ready for work. It's the next day in Australia. Look at that. Maybe the tag team aspect of RE4 test run for RE5. I think so too, Jared. I wouldn't put that past them. I think if RE5, it can easily happen, and co-op can easily come back. The co-op is just one of those things where it might not be for everybody, because then if you're stuck with AI, then, Have you seen... This is from SIB Studios. What's up, Shazib Khan as well? SIB says, have I seen RE4 ARG? I'm bad with abbreviations sometimes, so I don't know what that is. ARG. let me know. Danny says, how you doing? Doing good. RE4 Village voice. The voices in Village. Bax doesn't like the voice acting, I think, is what I'm getting from that comment. We did get a super chat, though. First time super chatter by Tuwan, or Tuwan, says, are you playing on hard mode first playthrough? Yes. I think that, I don't look at myself as a scrub. I suck at some games, and some games I'm better than others, but I'm no scrub. So I'm going to be starting on hard mode. If all things, again, line up and I'm able to actually get everything on track, I'm going to be doing hard mode regardless. I think that's going to happen. My thoughts on the big cheese. I think the big cheese will be... I'm happy they didn't show that much of him, but I think he'll be around probably just as much as he was in the original. I don't think he'll be, a stalker enemy or anything like that. Ain't got to be a first thing, but still, sleep is important. It is. Yes, it is, Aaron. David says, Code Veronica Remake is the only other redo title that makes sense. I don't see Capcom doing 5 or 6. You never know. RE4 Remake could lead into a new era for Resident Evil, not gaming. Well, I already think the era started, to be honest with you. I mean, there could be another era within the era, but I think the remake era really did kick off again with RE2. So I just think we're in it. I just think we're in the middle of it right now, Goblin says, how about some new ideas for RE4 or for just in general, gaming in general? Yeah, I mean, I think new ideas can easily come through. I think that's why for me I'm kind of like torn, because some of the new ideas from 7 and Village I wasn't really all on board for, so hopefully they can improve that with 9 as well. I agree, Steve, though the mansion in the remake is still the scariest location. I agree. I still think it's the best. Let's see here. With the RE engine, I think that's where I'm at. Aaron's comment. With the RE engine and the success of 7, maybe use this chance with the remake of perhaps. Hence the reason. Well, I think it's just. I think it's one of those things where, you got to strike while the iron's hot. You want to keep the momentum up. And I think with 7 being successful after a time when Capcom was dealing with, financial struggles and there was like questions within what was going to happen next with the series. It's one of those things where I'm happy that it ended up being a success on one hand, even though some fans kind of felt, split on it at the end of the day. But I do like 7 over Village now that I've played both of them post Village and have kind of had even more time. I've come around on 7 more, but I also still see the flaws in 7 and Village, right? But I think, I don't know, I think the reason that they want to continue this is because, again, the momentum's there, and they're just striking while the iron's hot. I'm ready to play the demo too, Dr. Evil. Anthony, yes, to answer that question, yes. Just not on stream. Eric says, I'm hoping the stealth approach can be done for most of the game if the rumors we talked about are true. Then the bolt thrower and the knife are getting a lot of use. Well, I think the bolts we haven't seen yet, besides the explosive bolts, is like the silent bolts that you can reuse when you shoot the Ganado. You can actually reuse the bow, which is really cool, We got Luke Stambursky with the 79 super chat, and then I also have a super chat from Tremaine Beckett for $5. Says, I feel like I'm back in 05 with my PS2 RE4 remake and DBZ Budokai Tenkaichi 4 got announced. Who's your favorite Saiyan if you've watched it? Oh man. I mean, I was always I don't know. I would say like Vegeta was always kind of like my favorite, I always liked Vegeta. So I would say I would go with Vegeta on that. I'm not too in on the lore and like have seen everything DBZ, but I have played the games in the past. I was a fan growing up, getting into anime, so I would say Vegeta. Thank you for that $5 super chat, and thank you for that from Luke as well. £79. Appreciate that. I'm trying to get through the comments here. So obviously, if you're just coming in, hit the like button, stick around. Everyone just wants to demo, though, it looks like, and going back to, the idea of like a stealth approach, I think I don't know. I think a lot of different scenarios can be avoided if you do stealth. I don't think the combat will be necessarily like, you have to do it one way or the other, especially if you can do the game with just a knife. Maybe doing the stealth is probably the best way. So we'll probably see, how that goes. I mean, if there is a Welcome to Raccoon City sequel, which, I know they're talking about just making another RE movie. I don't think it will be RE4. And if they do, they'll probably just make it completely different, Don't know how else to put it. Oh, no, it's fine. I mean, it's kind of one of those things, Aaron. Like, again, I don't know. I think that there's a lot of, there is kind of a lot of, like, back and forth on what the fans are into, or if they're just into the current games, or if they're just into remakes, right? Like, but we'll see, because the fans are kind of in one, a couple different categories now, where it's like you either like everything, or you like, just what the remakes have been doing versus what the main games have been doing. I think I'm gonna play on hard for the first playthrough. Yeah, I mean, I think it's necessary. Is the demo only available on PS5? I hope it's available on PC. They haven't said anything with it only being on PlayStation. However, with Village, they did put it on PlayStation first. But I would hope that it comes out on everything. But I guess we'll find out on Thursday. It's good that they're not showing Regenerator, says Jack. Or John, sorry. This is from John, actually. Needs to be a surprise. Yeah, I agree. Regenerators are... like, one of my favorite parts of the horror elements of the original, it's got to be the regenerators, right? And I think that just not being shown is the best thing. The fact that we're 3 trailers in, we haven't seen them yet, I'm happy, because that makes it, again, now in the next week or two, when the game gets stolen, when there's, people that leak it, or there's people that upload, big outlets that upload hours of gameplay because they're allowed to, then you'll probably see the regenerators. But again, that's probably why I'm just going to check out. I did the same thing when me and John were covering Village. We made it apparent to just not, we covered the gameplay, B-roll, and breakdowns up to a certain point when they were officially released. And I know when they go to, when it gets put out by these websites, they're officially released and Capcom gives them the okay. But like a few hours into the game and a few hours of gameplay, like at that point when it's like so close to release, I'm just going to wait. Especially if I'm trying to get the game early, it's just counterproductive. So, the last bit of gameplay will be the demo, obviously, that I'll be looking at, because that will be a, actual product that we'll be getting. That's an early test of it. And that will probably be the last bit of stuff that I cover in terms of like gameplay, stuff being released that isn't a leak or a thing that's so spoiler, because I don't like to cover that stuff here on the channel. That's why I'm not a leak channel. I'm not an idiot that just uploads shit and repeats the same thing over and over again. But we're not going to get into that because there's several of them. Do you think there'll be a time demo? Hopefully it's not a time demo. Hopefully it's just not a one-shot. It's something we can play. But I'll have my profiles ready if it needs to be. If the show does confirm separate ways, the internet would celebrate. Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind that. I mean, obviously, that wouldn't even be a spoiler. That would just be like, okay, thank God that they lock that down and they have Ada come back. Ada's another one that's been kind of like withheld from being shown. So I'm happy that... Sorry for the yawn. Didn't get much caffeine today. The fact that they're, kind of holding out on that, again, makes me happy. Between Ada and the Regenerators, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Yeah, Juan, I think the next few games could be remakes, with them trying to clean up the timeline, fix some stuff while also still focusing on the future. Danny likes the original Serenity more, but the remake's also good. Yeah, I mean, it takes time. I would like to listen to the isolated track and listen to the soundtrack. So I've seen the pre-download period available on Xbox. Is it available on PS5? I think so. I think. Yeah. Where is that Lace Records RE4 remake vinyl, Purple Herb? I'm waiting for it. Still waiting for my original. Can you say hello to Amina and Bakir, please? Well, hello, Amina and Bakir. You play in the highest difficulty at the start of the stream? Yes, I'll be doing hardcore or whatever it's called this time around. Hopefully, separate ways. I don't think it'll be integrated within the main game. I think they'll probably just have it, the way it was, where it was unlockable and you can play it. Because Ada covers a lot of ground, and I feel like that being, switching to Ada and playing that, hopefully, if it was just like they condensed it to just switching to Ada at some point in, Resident Evil 4, like they did Resident Evil 2, and that's it, that would kind of suck. So hopefully they put that out in its own thing. Shin can't wait for the demo. We're excited. Yeah, we can't wait. After playing RE5 yesterday with the wifey, I can confirm that I want an RE5 remake. Code Veronica would be amazing, but RE5 would be perfect. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people that want Code Veronica next, RE5 next, RE1 next. So there's always a lot that they can do. Krypton says, once I get the demo, I'm ignoring any other game plays till release, which I plan on playing and watching you stream at the same time. Well, that's cool, man. As of now, Krypton, to your point, and to everyone else that wants to know when I will be live streaming Resident Evil 4 Remake for the first time, it's going to be on Thursday, the Thursday before release. So Thursday, the 23rd, hopefully by 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, by noon, we'll start. And the thing is I just want you guys to have a good experience with it, but I don't know yet if I'm getting the game early. So it does kind of put those plans not like on hold or anything, but I just don't know what's going to happen until I know for sure. And if I get, word ahead of time, like I should with, just getting access to a copy to play, the embargoes are typically, lifted on Thursday. So the day before release, if you have a copy, you can stream it legally. They won't take down your shit. They won't, do all that stuff. So I will be streaming on Thursday, the 23rd at noon. That's the plan, and us as a community can, go through it together, and it'll be fun. That's the plan for now. Worst case scenario, if I get nothing early and I have to play it Thursday night, midnight into Friday, technically Friday, obviously, then I'll just have to start it late, which will suck, but going into midnight the next day. But that's probably what might have to happen as a backup plan. But as of now, Thursday, March 23rd, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Did you hear about the RE4 movie? Yes. So there is there has been some rumblings about that and what they're gonna do going forward, right? But I don't know. I don't think it's not officially announced yet, but they could easily just, kind of capitalize on the lore and capitalize on the stuff. So my thing is, here's the thing. So with Resident Evil 4 being made into a movie, I just want to say that I honestly don't think that there's any faith that I can put into this thing. Because if they're trying to continue from Johannes Roberts' universe and have someone else take over, the universe was built up to shit anyway. They forced two games into one movie, and, it ended with a naked Wesker and Ada Wong. I mean, do I have to say anything else to convince you that this isn't a good idea? I didn't like Ivan Yogia as Leon. They made him a goof, and I know that's not his fault. He's a good actor, but it just didn't work for me. The kind of Leon that they have, that's shooting his partner and is being picked on and being goofy, that's not Leon, man. And I know in this whole RE4 movie, they'll make him a beefed up government agent. He'll probably work out more for the role, gain some weight if it's him, right? And even if it's some other schmuck, it's I don't even care, because you got me done. You got me completely done after the Resident Evil Netflix series. You got me completely done. to the point where I don't even want to fucking see any live action bullshit for years. I'm good. I'm fucking checked the fuck out with this live action Resident Evil shit. And if you like it, to each their own. You know, we all like different shit at the end of the day. Like, we're all into different things. But holy shit, man, I do not give a fuck about a Resident Evil 4 movie. And especially if they're trying to continue anything from Johannes Roberts or get anyone involved. Now, this hasn't been like officially announced or anything. It's just the word around the streets of Hollywood, the fucking, you know, catastrophe that is Hollywood, and, you know, Screen Gems, and, you know, Sony doing, you know, a bunch of, you know, let's just say illegal substances and coming up with ideas. And it's one of those things where you know they're going to make it. You know they're going to make it. You know they're going to make it, chat room. They're going to make it because Resident Evil's popular. Resident Evil 4 is popular. The remake's coming out. They do this all the time. Why do you think, you know, they wanted to make a whole movie that was, you know, pretty much advertised as a movie that was, you know, going to be the first game, but also being the second game? Because they knew that the hype for the recent Resident Evil was in. And I just want to say that, you know, fuck you. Because you can say whatever you want when it comes to, you know, being these studio execs that, you know, think they have all the answers. They want to fuck with things. And I know there's people that are going to say, well, Anthony, Johannes Roberts wanted to do X, Y, and Z, but because people did this and that, and I know James Wan wanted to approach it in a Resident Evil 7 way, which would probably have been, you know, again, not really good for, you know, selling, you know, the movies, because people really wanted to see the Spencer Mansion and to see, you know, the parts of Raccoon City, but they did not want to see two games shoved in an hour and 45-minute film with pacing that is fucking awful, and it's very gutted as a film. It just doesn't have, there's a couple cool shots, there's a couple cool things that, you know, they did there, but it wasn't anything to, like, you know, to say, oh, we got our Spencer Mansion that we finally wanted to see. If it was up to me, if someone came to me and said, yo, do this, right? Have this kind of idea. I would say, you know, of course they're paying the bills, but you would have to say, no, motherfucker, I want to make a movie that is based off of the first game. Let's just bring it back to the Spencer Mansion. If you want to pepper in RE0 a little bit, you can. But we just want to see a game or a movie that's based off a game, one game. And not that we even want this. I don't even fucking know if I want this, because it doesn't even fucking matter at this point, because you know that with the live action stuff, it is going to happen no matter what. Because people like us, we want to see it anyway because we're fans and we spend money on this shit, and, you know, guilty as fucking charged, but I cover this shit. So this is what I do. I do the content. I have an excuse. But at the same time, we're all guilty. We give these companies money, and at the end of the day, we're fans, right? So curiosity killed the fucking cat, I guess. But at the end of the day, I watch the shit like the Netflix series, so you don't have to, you know? So I'm watching shit so I can cover it for you guys, you know what I mean? And just let you know and warn you guys. And if I can do that, if I can save people the dollars, and I'll tell people to just, you know, download it when it comes out, or, you know, watch it when it gets leaked, or whatever the case may be, that's my job to do that. You know, my job here is to do that, to report to you and be honest, and not with this like toxic positivity shit that happens, you know. And that's the one thing that that I heard in a stream earlier last night. You know, Dead Pit was with Rambo, shout out to Rambo, and they're talking about that, and it's like, it's true. Like, everyone has to like everything nowadays. And then when someone comes along and tries to speak some fucking truth, it's like, nope, like, you're just being negative. You're being, you know, this, and that. And I gave it a fair shot. I waited until the Welcome to Raccoon City movie came out to reserve the judgment that, you know, you want to just immediately have. We're all guilty of it. But I waited. Same thing with the Netflix show. I fucking waited, even though I knew that it was going to be a fucking train wreck. I was done. Even though I knew it was going to be a train wreck, it didn't matter because it was just like, okay, like I have to see this because I have to see the full thing. I can't judge something until I play it and beat it. I can't judge a movie until I watch it from start to finish, you know? And as much as you want to be stubborn and as much as you want to, kind of assume immediately that it's going to be shit, I have to approach everything fairly. And I think for a Resident Evil 4 remake film that is going to be made in 2023, 2024, whenever the fuck they want to announce this and do this, if they're even doing this, even if it's not connected to Johannes Roberts and it's not Ivan Yogia playing Leon, that doesn't even really matter to me because I still don't have faith. I still don't have faith. One thing that I talked about with Sean, I did a podcast with Sean, who does the Carrier series on YouTube. And he just said it perfectly. He said, it's not earned. It's not earned. Like, we didn't get to see a proper Spencer Mansion incident. We didn't get to a second or third game on screen. It's not earned. In my opinion, it's not earned. And even if you're a fan of Welcome to Raccoon City, I still don't think that it's, you could look at that and say it was earned when we didn't even get like a Code Veronica movie. We didn't even get an established Ada Wong. We got Naked Wesker with sunglasses. And, I'm sure that they're going to be like, well, we can tie that into 4 because they're both in 4. But we didn't even see a proper Raccoon City escape. We didn't see Nemesis. We didn't see a Jill Valentine. That was like her story, her escape. Like, if they were going to do 2 things in one movie, it could have been 2 and 3. Even that could have been more of a train wreck, but it could have been 2 and 3, right? And then you could say, okay, make the first game into one movie, hour and a half, then leave it for a sequel. Then the outbreak happens. Again, you start with Resident Evil 3. You do it in the canon order. This is how I would do it. You show Jill, start off with the outbreak hitting the city, shit's hitting the fan, barricades are breaking. You show that, hit the clock tower, boom, jumps right over to, obviously they can cut different things in as RE2 like happens to kind of get the momentum moving, but man, make it like 2 hours maybe, and you can do that. Even that would sacrifice some from 3 and some from 2. So even the 2 in 1 thing, I think wouldn't even work. I would even just scrap it. If it was up to me in the studio, let me have 3 movies as a trilogy. You got to do a game per movie because it's just, there's so much in them that you can't fucking like take anything away. So, where I'm getting at with this is just, I don't think it's earned either. I don't think Resident Evil 4 as a movie would work. I'm completely done with dealing with this bullshit. It's one of those things where it's not going to take away from the games. It's not going to take away from the stuff. It's just annoying that they still haven't gotten it right. And we've been getting burned as RE fans and for live action stuff. And I'm going to just say this, right now, that not even the Last of Us show is, perfection. There's a lot of problems with it. And I'm at this point, I'm like, I've almost seen all the episodes, right? I think there's only 1 or 2 more episodes left in that show. But that's a whole nother topic. I'm not going to get into that. I'm just saying that with live action stuff. Now, has Last of Us approached it the best yet? Yeah, I think it's one of the better approaches, not the best shows, but it has the money, it has the it has the vibe. It's trying, but there's still certain things where I'm like, but it still did it better than what we've gotten in recent years with Resident Evil stuff. I will say that. But anyway, Resident Evil 4 Resident Evil 4 movie. Resident Evil 4 movie? No thanks. No thanks. So that's my rant on that. I had to do a little rant. So now I'll use that as a little highlight there. Let's see here. Where are we? I mean, this chat is going off the fucking wall. We got a $30 Canadian from Thunder's Productions. Appreciate that, man. Thanks for being a supporter and hanging out in the chat. And yeah, I had to do a little rant. I had to do a mini rant. that'll make for a good video. See, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do these, segments when I do these live things, so I can always cut it up and put it out there, right? So it is part of news, so it's just kind of one of those things that happens. We got Chris Kennedy, we got Quinn Grimm, we got Cannibal Ritual in the house. We got Trabo in here, RWK. We got Ricardo in here. Everyone agrees. Said I'm speaking the truth, preach. Yeah, so it's time. Liquor Sandwich is in the house. Says, welcome to Raccoon City Butcher 2 games and Retcon Nemesis. Don't know how more disrespectful you can get. Yeah, exactly. Good night, Aaron Hooper. He's heading out. And I appreciate the support, Aaron. Thanks for watching late at night. Aaron said he doesn't think he'll fuss with the demo. Just because, it's going to be about a week or so. Might as well just wait to the end. I know a lot of people were doing that for RE2 and 3. I think a lot of people were doing that, where they were just kind of waiting. And I don't blame people, Masai's in here as well. I would love to see Joe come back for RE9, Patrick. Dante says, I think RE5 Remake would be cool. The amount of scrapped content would be cool. That was before the final version. Yeah, definitely, right? This is their time to do it if they're going to do it. Have you noticed in any gameplay footage from the island, the knife icon is actually Krauser's knife, confirming we will get it after the boss fight? I did not see that, but that does make sense that he would take the knife, and the fact that we can use multiple knives is really cool. Mike's been going through RE4 professional mode for the first time in anticipation for the remake, and I'm doing much better than I thought. Can't wait for the demo. Yeah, man. I've been going back and playing RE4. I did the VR stream as well. And it was very fun. I replayed it on the Xbox as well recently, so it was really cool to do that and to just kind of like replay it right before it comes out, because then you kind of have like a refresher not only on the game but just like the little things that they're that you might pick up on. Would you ever play RE5 with fans or off screen? Absolutely, Anthony. I have a plan to do an RE5 run with somebody, and it's going to happen. Like I said, it's just been very, very busy. We found out like a way, to do it, and in a cool, unique way where it's not going to be live streamed, but it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be post production but edited with each perspective, like Sheva and Chris, and it's kind of cut cinematically. So I'm going to do something like that. Hopefully I can circle back around and do that after 4. If I don't think I'm going to be able to do it this month, but hopefully we'll be able to do something soon. I feel really bad because I promised this guy I would do it, and I'm going to do it, but it's just like when we try to get together to have like a recording session, I was like, all right, well, let's see if we can approach it in a different way, because the way the schedules work out and my schedule compared to his schedule, we'll figure it out. But RE5 will be played. I've done co-op runs on the channel before. I've done, Mercenaries runs. So to playing it with fans, I'd probably play it with members, play it with Patreon supporters, stuff like that, so it's more streamlined. He hasn't watched anything since the 3rd trailer, says Liquor Sandwich. He says, we'll play the demo. Yeah, a lot of people are just waiting for that demo, man, because then you can get your hands on it and really dive into it. On the topic of stealth, I've been feeling if you try to shoot the regenerators, they will take up a lot of damage. But I think if you sneak up to them, successfully stealth attack them, they die in one shot. That's a good point, but I really hope they don't do that. I hope they make the regenerator really tough. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Because, I really just like the fact that they are hard, enemies that, are multiple parasites. It's not easy to just take down, but Resident Evil games are meant to be played on hard the first playthrough. RE0 says otherwise, says Liquor Sandwich. Yeah, no, it depends. You just gotta be ready. RE0 is unforgiving as all hell. Do you think the Q demo would have the village part of the game and Game Informer played? I think it might be like the original. This is from Ricardo. I think it'll be like the original demo where it might be like a little part of the village and then into the, after the Chainsaw Ganado where everyone go bingo and then boom, just cuts out and says to be continued. Shaz says the only thing he hates on Professional is that he needs to mash the button quicker for QTEs. That causes instant death if I fail. I'm happy that the QTEs are gone. Yeah. Besides, like, the actual, button prompts and stuff like that, the cutscenes and stuff, there will be no, cutscene QTEs. Dwayne thinks they'll just integrate separate ways into the game itself. I don't know. Not sure. I think that would be a lot. Be a longer game, but it could. But I think they'll just have it as a separate thing. That's what I think. Dante said in the village section of the RE4 remake, when you keep visiting Chief Mendez, do you think that there would be a pop-up random spots in the mansion? I don't know if he's gonna follow Leon, like be some kind of a stalker enemy. That's the one thing that they haven't really talked about. They already said that the brute Ganado is not a you fight him more than once, but he's not like a stalker enemy. So I don't know. I'm curious to see how much he will pop up. Looker Main Zero is not a part of Director's Cut RE2 and 3. I think he was talking to Liquor Sandwich with that. Well, yeah, I mean, but Zero they added after the fact and they kind of filled that in. How long did you sleep after the epic marathon? Man, that's a good question. This is from Tomaz. I probably slept, honestly, maybe 10 hours. Not straight, though. I slept 5 hours. Then I had to get up and record Game Complainers. Then I slept another 5 hours. Then I had to get up early the next day to do shit. It was, honestly, very poorly planned on my part in terms of the date that I wanted to do it. But obviously, like, I was away. I was up in New York on the weekend with Perry celebrating his birthday and stuff. We were hanging out. So, like, I wanted to obviously get the live stream done before that. And then I had to get the videos done. And then, of course, when I came home from plans in the morning and stuff I had to work on stuff. Of course, the gameplay comes out. The B-roll comes out as soon as I get home, and I was like, you know what? This would be a good time to take a nap. Gameplay comes out. So, no rest for the wicked, I guess. And I had to just work. I had to just work on it until basically I literally was working on stuff until Friday night at like 4 a.m. Or I'm sorry, Friday morning. Yeah, Friday morning, 4 a.m. Like I got done. And so I slept, and then that's when the sleep really hit me. And then today I like crashed. Like I didn't wake up for a while. So I think I just recovered from that fucking thing. Just because I didn't properly plan my days like I should have. But, the next little marathon of a stream will probably be a marathon. It'll probably be, broken up into multiple parts, maybe a 8-hour part and then another 8-hour part. Sorry for the yawn. But yeah, so I will probably do some more coverage, obviously do some more live streams before then. The chat is going to be so lit, says Masai. And then Raiden asks how I'm doing, or how are you? I'm doing well, honestly. I feel like it's, I'm already kind of feeling the busyness that this month is going to bring, because between Monster Mania convention, working on content here, demo coming out this week, and then it's just going to be nonstop coverage for you guys. So I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys are strapped in as far as like live streams and videos and discussions like this, live discussions like this. Like, it's all, this month of March is going to be crazy, probably the busiest month. And then obviously even the 2 weeks after Village, or I'm sorry, not Village, oh Jesus, Resident Evil 4 will be busy like the 2 weeks after Village. That's what I meant to say, because when the games come out, I try to give myself time before, and then time during, and then time after to also just like cover it, right? So it's one of those things where I can get a lot of stuff done, especially if I get the game early. So hopefully that works out, But again, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. I'm not going to get. It's not guaranteed that I'm going to get anything early anyway, because it's a lot more stricter this time around. Who would have thought? But here we are. Anthony says, "I will be here regardless." Appreciate that. Mike N says, "Do I think Death Island will keep a mix of Vendetta and Remake voice actors, or only the remake? Probably the remake and who they're using now." You know what I mean? I think that would work. But holy shit, we got a couple supers. We got Nick with a $10 super chat, fellow member. Thank you, Nick. He also gifted a membership. Now David uh, Rambois is a member, courtesy of Nick. And Nick has been a member for 17 months. So shout out to Nick, longtime supporter, great guy, just a fan all around of all the content that we do, and on all channels, like here, Game Complainers, John's channel, like every. So just appreciate that. Appreciate everything that you do, and appreciate the support. And trying to go back here. There's a lot of comments, so I'm trying. Operation Javier DLC. I don't know. It could be DLC. I feel like I wouldn't mind that. They did mention it. I think I missed Naked Wesker. It's at the post-credit scenes or right before the scene or something like that. Assignment Ada could be cut, Robert Brown, just for either Operation Javier or just because Separate Ways is actually canon, where Assignment Ada is just just kind of there. What RE game do I want next? Says Dr. Evil. Or I'm sorry, I kind of skipped ahead here. Let me do Mark's thing first. I'm trying to go in order. Do I think Salazar statue chase will be cut? I think it'll be in there. It could fit with the new stuff, though. I think the way they kind of laughed and when they were talking about that stuff, I feel like it's in there. The game's gonna be at least 15 hours long. I think so. RCS. Salazar robot is confirmed. Well, it's not really confirmed, but judging from the Game Informer interview when they were asked about it, they kind of like seemed like just wait and see. So it's kind of very on the nose. Exactly, right. Just ignore the stuff that comes out. But Dr. Evil's question, what would I actually like to see next? Maybe I would say, if anything, I would like to see, a Code Veronica remake. Let's see. Yeah, Code Veronica remake, I think, is one of those things, like, they're definitely going to, do that eventually. And I would say Code Veronica remake and RE5. One sec. All right, I'm back. As far as like Code Veronica, I feel like that would be like the next move. But I also wouldn't mind 5. I wouldn't mind 1. And obviously with RE9, like I would want them to just obviously do an RE9, but just make it revamp that thing. Like revamp that story that you have going on. Come up with some new ideas. You know what I mean? Let's see. All right, I already read those. Yeah, he was a different character. This is all about the movie stuff. Liquor Sandwich says, I'm convinced the movie of the people of at Constantine and Screen Gems pass around a gasoline container and take the fattest whiffs and pass it around. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're doing. This is just a bunch of comments of you guys agreeing with me on the movie. I want to try to catch up here on some of the other stuff we got going on in the chat. They'll probably pick something ridiculous for Leon. Probably. RE1 could have been such a good... I like how Cannibal put the Wesker Peach. That's awesome. Naked Wesker. Can I get a Wesker Peach in the chat from all the members? RE1 could be such a good film with the right production team. I prefer the CGI ones myself, mostly because the characters actually look how they're meant to. Yeah, and they act how they are too, So, and it's in the game universe, so, there you go. We got John in the house too. John's here to stop by to say, Rain... What does this say? Rain, smoke, and gunfire. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Not the rain. Demo is predicted to be dropped on the 9th, isn't it? That's when Capcom has the event. Yes. That is the plan right now from them. I mean, hopefully it comes out on that. Congrats on 3K to John. Yeah, you hit 3K subscribers. That's awesome. I think the laser sight's just going to be compatible with the handgun. Yeah. Yeah, the regenerator's not dying in one shot. I agree. Hopefully the knife doesn't, that's why I don't think that will be a thing. They'll make it hard as fuck. Exactly. They're going to take a lot of punishment. That's their entire point. Exactly, Cannibal. Anthony says, I can play R5 with you if it can make it the day regardless of time. Okay, yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, I would like to do more community, playthroughs together, obviously. With Mercs, it's just one person at a time, so I'll probably just have to cycle out, when I do that event, which is fine. RE Village demo was one for Village part, and other demo was Castle demo. Yeah, no, it had two different parts. I don't think this one will have two different parts. Maybe it'll just be like, it's just going to be like the one demo, and if it's a one shot, they'll put out the the non one shot demo when it comes out. Exactly, I agree, John. Games should be played on whatever you want, however you want to experience them. Achievements and trivias are the same thing to award you, and just enjoy it and play the game. We're all excited for RE4 Remake, Danny. Hell yeah. Especially for playing higher difficulties. I agree, John. Lucius says, do you see Capcom upload some ridiculous and puzzles online for people to do regarding RE4 Remake? What have they done, like little like mini games and stuff like that? 3 more challenges and I finally platinum RE8 gold. There you go, man. Thanks, John, for coming by. What's up, Jude? Chris Kenny says, happy birthday, Aunt. Oh, well, it wasn't my birthday, but I mean, it was my birthday on the 22nd, but that was, appreciate that, the belated birthday wish. Yeah, laser sights are only on handguns for the time. Go back and listen to the 90s animated Wolverine X-Men and tell me Krause doesn't sound like him. RE4 Remake Salazar sounds almost like the original to the T. Yeah, they're doing a really good job. I didn't mind Krauser's voice acting when I heard it more in the scene that we got. Obviously, if you're not looking at spoilers, then you didn't see it, but it sounds better than it did in the trailer. But yeah, Wolverine from the 90s, I mean, it does kind of remind, I'd have to go back and hear it side by side, but I did love the X-Men 90s and the Spider-Man 90s series. Man. Game Win says he hasn't been this friggin' hyped for a game since HK3, and we know where that went. Yeah, well, or KH3, sorry. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3. Well, I've definitely heard that firsthand from Kingdom Hearts fans that was a letdown. Let's see. I think the website below for anyone that wants to do the RE4 Remake puzzle. So there you go. Do you think the idea of playing as a mutated human or failed BOW as a main character was taken away because of Ethan and Rose Winters? I don't know. I feel like they probably would have used the Winters as kind of like their, I don't know if that affected everything, but I think it's one of those things that they definitely just, when they tried to shift focus to them, they just didn't do a very good job, which sucks. Dragon Ball says, I'm happy to see I was wrong about RE4 Remake Amp, but trailers can lie. Well, we got to stay positive here. I think it looks good. The Capcom Showcase is happening this week, Stuzy, on Thursday. I will be live here on 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jared says, did you ever follow YouTuber Where's Barry? Yes. We're actually pretty cool with him. Me and John, we've talked to him in private. He's been on the show. He's also been on the live stream. So, obviously he's not around, so, he's staying true to his name. I don't, talk to him on the daily like that, so I'm not sure where he's been. But I know he kind of, started to cover Village and then kind of stopped. So I don't really know what that was about, But obviously, life, life happens. Stuff comes up and things come first. Obviously, I don't think he was a content creator doing it for a living or anything like that. Even though he has a great following, that is awesome. He should be able to continue to do that, and I would like to see him continue. But yeah, he's gone right now. Do you think U3 is cut? No, Dragon Ball. I think it's all there. I think all the boss fights will be there. Thank you again, Nick, for the 17 months. Thank you for the member emojis as well, showing that off Thunder's Productions. The knife upgrade and skills in Leon and RE4 almost are the same as Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, well, I mean, it is a whole different mechanic, right? Bonsai in the building, watching as I'm running on the treadmill at the gym. Hell yeah, man. Kill it. Smash those goals and stay positive. Mercenaries mode is going to be crazy, Dante. John has been the member for 5 months. Just remember, heroes are remembered. Legends never die. The Ganados aren't ready for me. Yeah, I think it's time for us to fuck up some stuff once we get our hands on RE4. It's going to be very fun. You deserve more subs. Great channel. Thank you, Ricardo. I'm trying every day to figure out how I can grow. Some things work, some things don't, but, I'm still here, right? So, got to keep showing up. Shuzi says for a 67 gigabyte game, it should have all the content. Yeah, I mean, hopefully Separate Ways will be also in there, and it's going to be, it's going to be just expanded on. It would suck. It could be DLC though, Shaz. I think in today's age, it could be. John says, "Oh right, U3. I hope it isn't cut content, but best kept for the release, like the regenerators. Exactly. Just hold it. You don't got to show us it. Like I said, I think at the trailer, or I'm sorry, the showcase, the spotlight, I guess, whatever you want to call it, Capcom spotlight. I don't think they'll show much. I'm sure they'll drop the B-roll footage. They'll show the gameplay that we just saw this week, and trailer 3 again, and then they'll say, "Here's the demo." When are you boys getting back together? You and John and Ant. Well, as far as collaborating and doing something, as far as LTRE Survive This, there's always a possibility. Never say never. As far as when I'll be seeing John and hanging out with him, I'll be hanging out with him Wednesday, depending on which way you meant, Mr. Proper Herb. This is for him. But yeah, me and him still hang out. Me, him, and Dustin, we all hang out still, and it's fun. So it's never say never. We'll see what happens. I would like Revelations 3 with Rebecca and Billy. I would like Revelations 3 as well. I don't know if they could pull off a Rebecca and Billy story now, but I would like to see Rev 3. Yeah, they didn't say anything about the Salazar robot being confirmed. They kind of joked about it. Blitches says they can keep RE5. Give me Dino Crisis or Onimusha. Onimusha would look crazy. That, honestly, I mean, I'm all for Dino Crisis, man. Give me Dino Crisis any day. So would y'all think RE9 would be the same dev team that did RE4? Probably. Kind of a mixture of that and maybe the team that did Village. Obviously, like, I'm sure it's a mixture of both who they get. Horror Fans says, I'm only one of the few fans that is extremely tired of remakes to the point where let's move on and kept the game series progressed. I know I will get hate for this. Well, again, it's fine. I mean, different fans come from different times. I also want to shout out this super chat, another super chat from Tremaine Beckett. Appreciate that. $5 says, I could see the RE4 influence on The Last of Us. I wasn't a fan of Last of Us 2 story, but the gameplay gave me RE4 feels. Well, yeah, I mean, I would agree, Tremaine, to that super chat. And again, thank you for the donations. To that point, I think the gameplay was 10 out of 10. The story is where it suffered for me when it comes to Last of Us 2. So I think the writing is what was flawed. And I'd much get a Dino Crisis remake over RE5, says Resident Dr. Evil. Yeah. What's up, man? I'm on your stream for the first time, says Stifty50. That's a cool name. Welcome. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button. Appreciate that. Been playing RE0 lately, says Nick. I'm trying to like it more. I love the location designs and the puzzles, but I'm almost done, and I don't even care to finish the last 20 minutes. Yeah, it's a little bit of a drag. Like I said, I'm trying to go back and get better at those games. Or I'm sorry, at Zero specifically. Zero and Code Veronica are the two that I want to get better at. Been playing RE5 and 6 and Director's Cut. Hell yeah, got to get hyped somehow, Anthony. Dragon Ball says, do you think the U3 will be cut? I don't think so. I think it'll be in there, Dragon Ball Radiant. I think all the bosses will be in there. And if they do make any changes, it will be, just added on there. Does anyone know if he posts these live streams on his channel? These live streams are always archived. Always, always, always. I'm also going to start putting them out as audio as well for people to listen to. Just because, it'll kind of just feed the podcast algorithm a little bit more as well, or discussion, Agreed. Let's focus more on progressing RE games instead of doing remakes. Yeah, I think they'll stop at some point and have to figure something out. You should emulate Mercenaries 3D and play that. That would be cool. That would be really cool. I do have it over there too. Resident Evil Maiden demo was amazing. I wish the whole game was like that. Yeah, I mean, they kind of wanted to make up this little story that they can show you before the main game. It was done pretty cool. I think the RE7 demo was done better, though, with the updates and the dummy finger and the questions. We're about to be part of the RE Death Island box office. Yeah, that will be a part of. Seems early for the game to already be downloaded on consoles, says RWK. I'm not sure. I know you can pre-order it. I don't know if you can fully pre-install. Excellent reference to Wolverine. Krypton Gaming says, oh, the voice comment. I think Krauser sounds like Revolver Ocelot. Yeah, definitely. Again, it kind of growing on me a little bit, When will the demo be released? Probably this Thursday, Rainbox. So basically Bioshock 2, says Dragon Ball. Hi, Ann. Are we getting Wesker again? I think Wesker will be in here. We'll see him in the RE engine. I think that's safe to say, John says, Krauser sounds like a bad impression of the original with a pack of cigarettes per hour and a track device slapped on him. Well, that's the thing too. I didn't mind it. Take care, John. I didn't mind it when I heard the cutscene. It sounded a little bit more like worse in the trailer. I don't know if that was just because the takes that they had or whatever, but Purple Orb, I enjoy your content, says Doug Taylor. I think Krauser voice actor played Virgil in DMC5. Yeah, I think a lot of people are saying that. That could be him. They announced all the Japanese voice actors today. They'll probably do the English one as well, hopefully. Lee says, do you think they'll have Sadler for the boss fight? Or do you think the lady with Sadler will be the boss fight, or they'll just be there for a prop? Oh, the two females that are in, like, the cloaks or whatever? Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe that'll be part of his, final form, and we'll see them kind of morph into him. If you were a betting man, which do you think gets remade next? RE1, Code Veronica, or 5? I would say 1. If I was a betting man, Gruesome Glenn, I would say 1. But I don't know. Like, I would want Code Veronica, but I feel like they might be like, we could do 1 again. I don't know, 30th anniversary? That's what me and Perry were saying, 30th anniversary, right? What do you think about RE getting remade all over and the impact of the whole storyline? Well, I think they're trying to streamline stuff. They're not, like, retconning anything crazy so far. They're just trying to streamline it. Like, the original timeline is still there, and it's not going anywhere. It's not erased, and these are just kind of going along, right along with it. So, Anthony says, just got word demo not dropping on the 9th, possibly Friday, though. Spotlight is announcing the demo date. Well, I don't know. I don't know what your word is, Anthony, but, you don't know until we see the actual event. I'm a Capcom creator, and they sometimes do give us little updates and stuff like that. Have they done that for the demo? No, but they seem to be alluding that it'll be dropping on Thursday in there. But, again, that's not... I don't want to jump, the gun or jump to conclusion. Already subscribed and liked. Thank you, Stifty. Let's see. The Leech Queen was a very ridiculous antagonist. Yeah, a little bit. Rain says, I'm just hoping RE4 DLC would be the village before, during, or after, or Survivors of Lost Plagas. They could easily do something like that, but I think this special demo might just be, it could be something that takes place before the village if they really wanted to do that. But I think it might just be a little section that they want us to check out. Take care, John. Hope everyone's doing well. Been playing Remake 0, 4, 5, and 6. Village, get ready for 4 Remake. I watched all the movies, live action, and GG. Yeah, I mean, you're ready, man. The hype is real. this will be the first time I buy a game day one, or should I go deluxe or standard? That's up to you, man. It depends on whatever you feel like spending on it. I think it should be day one if you're an RE fan, no matter what. Nick out here gifted memberships. Krypton Gaming is now a member, courtesy of Nick. Thank you, Nick. Very generous. Very, very generous. Thank you. Krypton Gaming is returning the favor and gifted another sub. And now Shaz, the detractor, is now a member. Pay it forward. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being generous tonight. Really appreciate that. Thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. So I heard Capcom bought the copyright to Dino Crisis name recently. Yeah, I mean, they always kind of renew the copyrights. And sometimes stuff happens, sometimes stuff doesn't happen, but we'll see. We'll see. Do you think the Plagas, is from Ollie, he says, do you think the Plagas and Leon and Ashley will be bigger in the remake, like gameplay or more serious? Yeah, it seems like it's going to take more of an effect. Sadler has more of a presence and more control and stuff like that, Eric couldn't get into The Last of Us, he says. No hard feelings for fans. Doug with some shout-outs there. I'm ready for RE to enter the multiverse. Yeah, right? That's where it's going. That is where it's going. Brian says, I'm looking forward to the minecart scene. It looks fun, like Indiana Jones' Temple of Doom. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of where it's going. Bought the deluxe edition. Okay, Stifty's ready. He got the deluxe edition. Brandon, what's up, man? Indica Hybrid in the house. He says, it's sad I haven't bought Dead Space Remake yet, but yet I'm going to buy RE4. That's crazy, man. I thought you had a Dead Space Remake, but maybe not. Maybe I thought wrong. But, I mean, the price will drop, too, so if anything, you'll just save money. Dwayne Johnson says, what's up, LTRE? Or hello, LTRE. I missed the beginning of the stream. I was out seeing Keanu Reeves. Couldn't miss that now. Oh, shit, seeing Keanu Reeves? Fuck yeah. Where'd you see it? I can't wait for John Wick. That's going to be fucking killer, by the way. But it comes out the same week as RE4, so I might have to wait to see it. But I'm more excited since buying it on the PS5. RE4 is going to be crazy. Yeah, it's going to be nuts, man. It's going to be a wild ride. I think Remake 1 will get a remake again. I don't know if it's going to be like the masterpiece that is 2002 Remake, but I think it'll happen. The game's using Denuvo, so hopefully there won't be an issue, and the modding community has no problems on it. Yeah, I know anything with Denuvo is like, the cancer of the PC games, and that does ruin a lot of stuff, so we'll see. Well, you want to see a remake of the first BioShock? Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind. I mean, it's been a while since I played the first BioShock, and it was always fun when I played it. I remember I rented that from the video store. That was one that I rented and I really enjoyed. Like, that was one that I really got into. Check him out in John Wick Chapter 4. Oh, the London premiere. That's awesome, man. Get to see it in London. That's awesome. What mods will we get for RE4? I'm sure they'll be ready. I'm sure there'll be a bunch. It was my first thought. Yeah, the temple reference. Yeah, it does look, the cart scene does look a little funny and wacky. Even wackier than in the original this time around. My least liked Resident Evil game, probably Umbrella Corps. That's probably my least liked Resident Evil game, to be honest with you. You could see John Wick in the morning and talk about it on your stream. Well, that's the problem, is that I'll be probably streaming on the Thursday that, it has to come out. So the Cinemark always does like a day before screening, and me and my friends will sometimes go out and we'll watch the movie, Thursday night before it comes out. You don't have to wait till midnight. It's just like Thursday evening. You can go there. But I'm going to probably be starting the RE4 stream, Thursday, on 12 o'clock, and I'll just keep it going from there. So I probably won't be able to. Maybe once I recover and sleep and do all that stuff that week, and but it's just gonna be tough because I have to keep working, working on this stuff for you guys, So it's a good problem to have. It's a good busyness to have, and I finally caught up on the chat, which is wild. So thank you guys for being active as fuck. We still have 131 people in here, so hit the thumbs up. Stick around. I'm gonna be here for probably another half hour, 45 minutes for you guys. And any other questions you have, feel free to throw them in for Ari, and we'll keep the discussion going and keep the Hangout stream going for you guys. You guys seem to like this. And let's see. I think I'm caught up to everything. Got all the super chats called out. Got all the memberships called out. Okay, let me just grab a drink real quick, and I will be right back. 1 second. I am back. All right. Nick says he would like to see a Parasite Eve remake. Honestly, hell yeah. I'll drink to that one. Not sponsored by Body Armor, but the peach tea has been out, my friends, so I haven't been able to restock. The chat conversation tonight's just been RE4 vibes. You know, we were talking a little bit about the RE4 movie that could happen a little bit earlier, but mostly RE4 vibes. Can you talk to Perry into streaming it on the PS4 base so we could see it catch on fire? You know, Perry would do something like that just to, you know, just to kind of like, just for the lulz kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know even if he would want to go through that torture at this part. Love this beat so much. Hell yeah. Got to keep the synth wave rocking. I think Hunk will be in Mercenaries, or if not Stifty, he'll be replaced by Luis. That's what people are saying. Anyone looking forward to Scream? I'm going Thursday and super pumped. So, Krypton Gaming, I will be going to see Scream, hopefully. I don't even know what I got to do. I probably have to make some phone calls after this and just, like, talk to my friends that you know, kind of want to go, because we wanted to do a late screening, and that would have worked for me, but then I don't know if it's going to be coming out. I don't know. It's actually what I'm kind of checking now. But yeah, so I'm going to be busy that weekend as well, so I won't be able to see it. It's just going to be, like, annoying. Sip that peach iced tea. I know, right? Like I said, I wanted the tea to be here, but unfortunately, they're sold out. Have to drop down Wawa tonight, see if it's there. Might just wait for the Blu-ray to come out. Yeah, Dundee. I mean, like I try to see. I mean, I haven't seen all of them in theaters. I've seen 4 onward, but I at least like to keep up that tradition of seeing them. But and I want to see it obviously like sooner than later. But I don't expect it to be good. Yeah, but we'll see. Like I'm excited to see it just to see a new Scream film. I guess in a sense, and I guess I'm part of the problem because I'm going to see it. But 5 was just meh for me. So. Also, was Leon in RE4 and Remake inspired by an actor? I don't really think so. I mean, obviously, there's the whole Leo DiCaprio design look, in the original 2, but I don't know if he was really off of one in that one actor. Dion says, "Are you planning on playing Umbrella Corps or Dark Side Chronicles before demo? Light Gun might be a little boring, but it has a nice, exciting story." Probably not. I probably won't revisit them for quite some time, to be honest. Dark Side's a challenging game. Umbrella. Oh, you mean Umbrella? You said Umbrella Corps, but I know what you mean. Umbrella or Dark Side Chronicles, because you said Umbrella Corps and Dark Side Chronicles. But I see what you meant there. That's true, like both of them. But I don't know. It'd be a little bit until I went back and played them, to be honest. I'm excited to see you 3 as well, Juan. I think Assignment Ada will be gone, Brawny. As long as they put separate ways in there. Brandon Lewis says, nah, they're not cutting Hunk from Mercenaries. They can just import his model from RE2 Remake. That's true. I mean, I think Mercenaries will be intact. I personally don't think it will be, like taken out. But Dwayne says, what? An RE4 movie? Interesting and nice. I'm going to see Scream 6 with my friend is going to be dressed as Ghostface in the cinema promoting the film. Not a big horror Scream fan. That's crazy. They're allowing that. Yeah, that shit would not fly over here in America. That's for sure. But no, there's yeah. I mean, that's the rumor. That's the rumbling. Is that the next film might be off of 4? So we'll see. Anthony did not like 5. The reviews, which you take as you'll say it's the best since the first. I'll make my judgment after Thursday. Oh yeah, well they always say that. I feel like Purple Orb's got to go. Great hangout, always a great time to be with you all. And Ant, hopefully do the demo, or hopefully do this week. Can't wait till then, or the demo this week. I think that's what he meant to say. Until next time, you take care, Purple Orb. Take care. But a free film ticket to watch, why not? Exactly. I mean, I'll take free 99 any day. You see the photo of RE4 Remake being 60 gigs. Yeah, that's kind of been going around, Spinchy. Would be nice if they added a thing to the Mercenaries, added new things to Mercenaries. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people were saying they could do co-op, stuff like that, but I don't think they'll do co-op this time around. They'll keep it single player. Anyone who plays games, add me on PS, says Anthony. His name is Dead Space Main. Well, there you go. Do you think you could see characters from RE3 used for Mercenaries mode? That's a good question, right? Because it's like they have the assets for Jill, they have the assets for, Carlos and all those other people, but I think they might just keep it more in the circle of RE4. But I mean, I would love to see like an ultimate Mercenaries game, kind of like what Mercenaries 3D set out to do, but who knows? I think they'll let us get infinite ammo and stuff like that. I think there'll be those unlockables. Sora and Hunk will still be there. What's up, Quentin Bauer, fellow member and mod in the house? Like more killing in action. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the hell Scream 6 is going to be. We'll see. But, I really don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, I'm going to have to call my buddy after this and just be like, all right, what's going on? Like, can we do this? Can we pull this off? Because it's probably just not going to be a no-go. It's probably going to be a no-go for me because, if the demo does drop that Thursday evening, then I have to be here. And I originally was going to a later screening, but now they might not want to go to a later screening, and I don't know, you know. Let's get some Jills in the chat for Death Island. Yeah, let's get some Jillies. I hope you can stay with Leon's jacket. Well, it does look like it comes off, not too long after, like in the original. So, judging from most of the stuff we've seen with Leon has been without a jacket at this point, because they've been showing us everything without it. But it's one of those things. So I guess while I'm caught up with the chat, I'll do a little, thing discussing. So with Resident Evil 4 Remake, there's been, trailer 3 coming out. There's been the gameplay B-roll that we've been looking at. So there's been a lot of stuff that you're either, catching up on with all the news, or you're not catching up on it because you kind of want to wait for either a demo or wait beyond that, where the game is coming out in, less than 2 weeks at this point. So with Resident Evil 4 kind of being right around the corner, a lot of people were just asking, what do I think about it? How do I feel about, the Krauser fight with Luis and everything like that? And also just the castle stuff in general. Everything we got with the interviews and, Ashley. And so we'll talk about, the obvious stuff, like, the characters, right? So Leon, so far from what I'm seeing of Leon, is, a character that has, been obviously lived in more. He is, kind of forced into being a government agent, according to what people were saying about, what he says in the intro after the events of Raccoon City. But he's obviously a lot more, seasoned this time around. He's looking a little bit more jacked. He's been hitting the protein, and he is ready to rock and roll in RE4. So the one thing I like about him now is that, again, he has the quips. He's still throwing stuff out there. But he's also, thank you, Nick, for another gifted membership. Now Eric is now a member, courtesy of Nick. But yeah, so I am very, excited to see Leon interact more. Obviously, he's probably going to have more emotion. There's going to be a lot more, drama going on between Sadler kind of being very invasive in this remake. And the Las Plagas does take a serious effect on both Leon and Ashley. And Leon, I do, love his aesthetic. I love the look. I'm loving the voice acting so far. And I can't wait to see more of Leon as we go forward. And also to see just like, another serious side of Leon, but he's not all like doom and gloom and, being, a big old, emo. He is just a seasoned, I guess you would call him agent at this point, right? Like someone that is a government agent, but, got screwed over on Raccoon City on the first day of the Force. And here he is in this situation that he probably didn't even really want to be in, guys. He probably didn't want to be in this situation. But here he is now being a government agent, looking for the president's daughter. And that has a lot of weight on you as a person. So on top of that, you got to deal with that and the infected. You take care, Nick, in the chat. You have a good one. But the one thing I want to say is that with, Leon and Ashley and that interaction, I'm really looking forward to that. And also to see what he has to say to Salazar or Sadler when they, hijack the radio line from Hunnigan. So I can't wait. Now, as far as Ashley, we'll talk about Ashley for a bit because, Ashley Graham has, a different kind of approach when it comes to gameplay this time around. And, you can't throw her in a dumpster, which is unfortunate, but no, but you can put her, wherever you want as far as like when you tell her to spread out now, she'll just kind of go and run around, or when you tell her to pull back in, she'll pull back into the fight. So the thing is that there's always going to be people that like Ashley, don't like Ashley, but in this game, she seems less annoying, less bratty, and that's what Capcom wanted to kind of portray with this, new Ashley that we have, right? So with that being, kind of set up, I think there was a lot of people that, didn't know what she'll actually be able to do in this game that's very different. And she can climb ladders now. She can help unlock doors. She does, pretty much go stealth when you go stealth in a way, like she crouches down. Um, the new Ashley does look to be, a lot more improved, uh, especially because when you would have her wait in one spot and she would just stand in one spot to just get killed, that was always the most frustrating thing. And the fact that she couldn't climb down ladders and you always had to catch her, like things like that, is just, it was dumb that they had that in there. But they wanted you to make it, they wanted it to make it seem like you were always, protecting her from everything, but you couldn't really hold her own. Here it's like, okay, she seems to be more aware of what's going on. She falls down, she gets incapacitated, Leon picks her back up, and he's just like, um, are you okay? He has like that reaction, right? So there's little things like that that work. Her voice actress, while it hasn't been confirmed yet, I know as of this recording, the Japanese voice actors came out today. So we'll see, the list of the English voice actors, but I don't have a problem with her just hearing her talk in the Luis cabin section. So, she still hides in the little closet upstairs probably. But Ashley, again, I like the design. I like the voice acting. I think she'll be, she does scream when she gets grabbed still, but it seems like, the little mechanics that they made for her it's pretty easy to get used to. It's not going to piss off people that are playing this thing for the first time. So there's that. Now, when it comes to, Ada Wong, I wanted to talk about Ada because we haven't really seen much of Ada. We've seen a couple shots of her, and that's it. Hopefully, we get Ada in separate ways, and we also get more of the story, and it wraps around just like in the original. I'm happy they've kept Ada, kind of like with a couple shots, and that's it. So that's really cool. Ada's one of my favorite characters, and favorite characters in Resident Evil 4 as well. And I love her element to that game and what she brings to it. So I really hope that stays the same going forward with, the remake, and they still have separate ways. Now, as far as Luis obviously at this point is confirmed to be, in the game a lot more. He's also in the mine and cart section. So these things are really cool because I always wanted Luis to hang around a little bit more in the original. And it definitely seems like they're doing that this time around. Again, I never really mind his design. I thought it looked good. Thought his voice actor sounded good. It kind of grew on me as you keep hearing the cutscenes and the gameplay and stuff like that. And him being available in the Mercenaries is also something that can easily happen. And I like the fact that we do fight the giants together. I like the fact that they're adding that. Even the Chainsaw Sisters make an appearance in the mines. The mines look awesome. The minecart section looks completely reworked. It looks even crazier and goofier than before. But I'm sure, it's still going to be fun and cool. With me saying that, I'm not trying to give it any discredit. It just looks like they wanted to have fun with it. And it was always ridiculous in the original, so you might as well crank it up. But I think with Luis, I just love the fact that he's going to be around more and have more of a presence. And, that kind of leads me into discussing a little bit more about, the villains. And Salazar comes to mind because we did see Salazar in a bunch of the castle section and the cultist from Salazar onward. And we know that Salazar's lore is also going to be explained a little bit more according to what Capcom mentioned in the Game Informer interview. And that makes a lot more sense. I think with Salazar having this big castle, building up some of his lore within, conversations or files would be really cool. Castle is my favorite section of Resident Evil 4, so I cannot wait to see more. Obviously, we saw a lot, but I'm happy that they're still reserving multiple sections of the castle. And from what we've seen, the lighting, the effects of everything that this RE engine is kind of bringing to the table, this thing looks phenomenal. And the castle looks very aged and a lot more just a lot more intimidating in many ways because of how just it is aesthetically obviously very similar, but it just can pull out so much more detail nowadays. We also saw the section of the cannon on top of the castle, which is really cool. To shoot the cannon, to shoot the front doors down. And it's really cool that they're also expanding Salazar. Salazar is a cool villain. I still like his look. I like his hair, his cracked skin, and everything like that. He doesn't have the hat, but I can live with that. The one thing I hope they change about Salazar is, maybe his final form. Maybe switch up his boss fight a little bit and make it a little bit more, I guess, reimagined in that sense, and see what they can do there. Not sure what they're going to do in terms of, keeping that design the same. Same thing with Sadler. They can easily make it very similar to how it was, but Salazar is someone that I can't wait to check out. And now as far as Sadler, right? And I know that, obviously within the castle, like I want to see Vertigo. I want to see U3. The Garrador is amazing. The whole section of him running after Leon in the gameplay, you can sneak up behind him and stab him in the parasite, which is really cool. I'm sure we'll face multiple of them, different ones, and that's what's really cool. It looks intimidating, it looks menacing, and I love the claws. I love the stitched eyes, the smiling. It's just grotesque, and I love it. I love everything about what I've seen in the castle. Obviously, we also saw the little lever, pulling up the platforms in the main hall. That's always, a challenge, right? But Salazar, all good. Now, as far as Sadler is concerned, which I don't mind, what I've seen of him so far. He has the cloaked women on his left and right, which we don't know much about, but we know that Sadler now has that rock, has that piece that's probably in the caves or probably in the ruins of some sort, and the little parasite eggs are attached to it. So that we also got within the screenshots and the press release and stuff like that. But Sadler seems to be very invasive in this, and I'm a big fan of it. When it comes to Sadler, he is very, much an intimidating character now, where we see sections of him in the trailer, trailer number 3, to be specific, of talking over Leon while he's like frozen, pretty much stuck. Ashley's laid out. You could see the veins in Leon's arms, in multiple sections where you could see the parasites are taking over. This is a lot more dramatic. It's a lot more serious this time around, and I'm very curious to see how they end up handling them getting to that machine that ends up, zapping the parasite, because I just like the fact that literally at the end of the trailer, you see Leon holding Ashley, and Ashley's passed out. Leon pretty much looks dead, and he's like, this time it has to be different, and he sounds like he's dying. And that is just something where I like it. It's just tuning up how serious things are, because not that RE4 the original wasn't serious. There was multiple things that were actually serious, but it's just playing it up more. It's just making it more of a, a punchier kind of effect on the player, and to have you be connected to these characters. And obviously you see Sadler firsthand, have different different interactions with them, you know what I mean? And it's one of those things where I love Sadler's design, right? But I do think that the cloaked figures that are with him will probably be absorbed into Sadler for his final form. That's what I think. Now, as far as that little weird construction platform thing that looks like an insect hive or a hive's nest of some sort, it could be Sadler's final, fight stage as well, which is what we saw hanging from the ceiling. We're not really sure how they're going to, do Sadler as well, if they're going to keep the same exact spider design, but very curious to see, what people think of that. It could just be another part. But the fact that we see the lift and the crane and everything like that, it just seems like a Sadler, boss fight from there. Now, when it comes to, Sadler, I'm liking it. But let's get into, Krauser, right? So Krauser is the other villain that was officially shown off in trailer 3, but we obviously got more footage of his fight in the B-roll, which is crazy they even showed that to begin with that far. You would think they would just have the dialogue play in the trailer, maybe show a little bit of him, turning around, talking to Leon. But no, they showed the fight. And as far as Krauser's voice actor, I definitely like what I hear more in the B-roll footage, because it's not cut for a trailer. You can actually hear it clearly. And, he mentions Operation Javier, which was 2 years before Resident Evil 4. And Leon's like, Operation Javier? And they say it. They mention it. Operation Javier is something we wanted to be mentioned in Resident Evil 4, because obviously it was made up after the fact in the original Resident Evil 4. They made Dark Side Chronicles and fill that in later. Um, and I think it's one of those things where they are going to definitely, you know, they're going to definitely have something that talks more about Operation Javier. If it's just said in that dialogue, that would be kind of weird. I mean, obviously, yes, reference it to make it seem like it exists, but then that also acknowledges that the old timeline is still kicking around, and that's still accurate to that. Unless they show us, they show us a flashback cutscene or the falling out that they had. Krauser wanted to seek more power after the events of Darkside Chronicles, and that's kind of what inspired him to go on the path that he's going on with Resident Evil 4. And again, I like his design. The knife fight does look fun. The fact that it's in real time and the conversation flows, and it has a different vibe. They're approaching it differently because it is happening over the course of blocking and kicking and getting knocked down. So it's a very natural way of doing it. So as far as the Krauser fight and Krauser himself, it's not bad at all. And if anything, as everyone's been saying, yes, it does sound like the Wolverine from the 90s X-Men show. Now, the one thing I want to say with, how, he will be in the game or how much Krauser will be involved, we'll see. I mean, just because they're doing Luis more doesn't mean Krauser won't be in the game more. And that means maybe he'll be around a little bit longer. Maybe his fight will be a little bit different than just knifing him in terms of like his final form. So we'll see. I'm curious to see how they do that, but I'm looking forward to Krauser. I loved Krauser in the original, and I can't wait for them to do that. Next thing up is whether or not we're going to be seeing the Big Cheese more often, because the Big Cheese was only shown very briefly, very little, but we know that he does take over a lot of that first section of the village. He's around. And a lot of people were mentioning, is he going to be a stalker enemy? Or is he going to be like following Leon throughout the village more? Not sure. They've kept that under wraps. They did mention that there wasn't really any stalker enemy that they can think of when asked about it. But they weren't, again, they could be a little keeping that under wraps. They even mentioned that the Brute Ganado, which is the bull cowman that we were calling, now it's called the Brute Ganado or whatever, according to the press release screenshots. That comes back multiple times, but it's not a stalker enemy. So it's probably just another mini boss fight that we have. So it'll be cool to see. I can't wait to see his final form. I'm sure it'll look very similar to the original, but I can't wait to see him interact with Leon. I wonder if he still has that whole scene where he knocks him down in the hallway and says he carries the same blood. That would be really cool and intense. Can't wait to do that and to see that whole section of the game. Now, as far as, Mike's returning, that's another mention. We did see the island as well, keeping up the punchy action. Obviously, when Mike's around, he's going to be helping you. So I think there's going to be still those horror elements to the island. There's still action elements to the island, but the horror elements, including the regenerators, which hasn't been shown, which I'm happy that they're reserving that, was very well done in the original, and I think they can tune it up in this one. And even if, as long as the other game has more, the other parts of the game has more of the horror elements that I would really like to see kind of amped up a little bit, I'll be a happy guy. I didn't necessarily wanted the island being cut, but if they wanted to keep it, I would like them to kind of, maybe rearrange the order in which certain things happen. But I don't know if they're going to necessarily do that, or they'll have, Krauser come in a little bit sooner in the island. I don't know. But, I mean, I'm still happy to see it back. And I'm happy that, we're able to at least see something that is, saying that it's confirmed. I mean, it was confirmed by Capcom before anyway, but now that we're actually seeing it. And I don't know. Overall, guys, I just am really excited for this. Between the gameplay and the footage that we saw, it was really cool to see the parry of the Molotovs. The pipe bombs as well are coming back. Obviously, the Garrador fight is so killer. The fight in the mines and the ruins looks insane. And also the little just rituals and the little sections where they have the the candles or the altar, just different things of the cult being the cult. Hearing the chants gave me chills. They really did a good job at capturing a bunch of the stuff that really worked in the original. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do next and how they, kind of bring this to another level, up and coming. This RE engine is just incredible. But I really am excited to just unravel this thing and to play the demo, of course. And the parasites look crazy too. I love the design of the parasites. I love the fact that the parasites can jump on the ceiling and jump at you, and they kind of remind me of the grave, or not the gravedigger, but the hunter gamma and the gravedigger kind of has that, like, that wide mouth when the parasite opens. They kind of remind me of that, and you can stab them a bunch too. It's really cool. I really think that they're doing a good job at, just making this thing look intense, making it look like it means business. The parrying looks great. The new mechanics look awesome. The bolt thrower looks cool. We did see the broken butterfly as well. The MP5 is in the game now. The Punisher, the Blacktail, the Red 9, which is my favorite handgun. It all just looks good. The merchant as well. The merchant has the side missions. The merchant has the trading. You could still buy the rocket launcher. You got all the weapons and attachments, the recipes for the bolt thrower, explosive rounds, silent rounds that you can reuse, silencers on handguns, different attachments. That's just what I like about it. It's a very just tuned up version of the original. I like the fact that the options and having that arsenal and being able to expand on the attaché cases is really cool. Having different perks, you can have the charms as well, and you can store everything in the typewriter, being your own storage space. All that stuff looks fluent. The evade, the button hitting, that looks fluent as well. And apparently bear traps are in there, according to Darnizzler. What's up, Darnizzler? I'll address the chat in a second, but yeah, I'm really excited to see the traps, to see stuff, kind of unfold as we get further into these environments to explore. And I really like the fact that, there's going to be a different approach when it comes to, how they're maybe switching up some characters or how long characters stay around. Like, that's pretty cool because it's not like that has to hurt any kind of integrity. They can really just make it, make sense as to why they're keeping certain characters alive. Apparently there is a silencer, but we'll see what happens with all the attachments. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't know if that's for a specific gun or if that's going to happen, but anyway, that's how I'm feeling about RE4 Remake. I'm excited, I'm stoked, and I can't wait until we get this demo that's going to be dropping Thursday at the Capcom Spotlight, and I will be live, of course, at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to get ready. I think it starts at 2:30. It's only going to be a 26-minute event, but I think within that we'll get some good stuff. And yeah, I just wanted to take a drink real quick, and I'll catch up with the chat. I know we got a lot of people in here. So I want to say, what's up, King Shadow? Darnizzler just got back from the gym. KMMA, what's up, man? Rationalific, what's going on? He also says, I appreciate your commentary interviews. Thanks, man. I appreciate you being here. We're all going to be so hyped when Wesker appears. Yeah, that's going to be insane. Darnizzler also pre-ordered it yesterday. KMMA says he's about to head to work. Well, you have a good shift, man. And he says he's curious to see how Wesker will look. Yeah, man. I mean, Wesker and the RE engine, I cannot wait. I'm going to be so stoked for them to do that and to bring him back. Danny Morero says, hey, I appreciate your commentary interviews. Hell yeah, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. I really, I'm looking forward to covering it and just having a good time with it, About the most recent Game Informer yesterday, R4 is on the cover, and the main article says that the positive things they said leans much more into the horror. Yeah, Darnizzler, I actually read that article about a month ago. I did a whole video reading the digital Game Informer, pretty much what you had, but I read it digital, and I kind of did videos discussing what was in those magazines. And yeah, I remember they did mention the horror stuff, and I don't remember reading the bear traps. Maybe I overlooked that. But yeah, that I don't. But you said that though, and maybe I'll be able to actually get it physically because I covered it when it was digital release. So hopefully we get that. Nemesis Biohazard, what's going on, man? As usual, I watched the original playthrough on this channel, and I want to play it first, but I'll definitely come back for it. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for always coming back. I want the magazine, but my local stores don't carry. Really? GameStop's probably still sold out of them? Yeah, I don't know. May swing by to see if there's a late shipment. Yeah, I would just call them. That's probably what I'll do. Is just call them and be like, hey, do you have the RE4 Game Informer? And just they'll be like, yes, no. The only thing I'm salty about, this is from Krypton Gaming, is you can get the collector's, or I'm sorry, the deluxe edition digital. So I double dipped and bought the physical copy from Best Buy so I can get the Steelo. Yeah, I know that does suck. I have the hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get some kind of code early, but hopefully I can also just get the get the collector's edition in one piece, from GameStop. But yeah, I know what you mean. Also love the detail when the parasites come close to bursting. Bursting Ganato's necks will look broken like the one in that gameplay. Yeah, it just seems to be more grittier, and they really are making, a cool attempt to make it, more violent, more intense, and upping more of the horror. Fish in inventory, yeah, I'm sure the fishing is going to be there, and trading is going to be there, which is really cool. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I'm looking forward to when it comes to, just seeing those little differences and playing it over and over again. I just can't wait to replay it and just get everything unlocked stuff. Like, that was such a fun aspect of the original Resident Evil 4. And I'm still just a little tilted, just a little bit, that Mercs isn't available day fucking one, because I would have fucked up that shit immediately. But, Resident Evil World, I think the demo will drop on the 9th with the event, if not Friday. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. If they said, hey, the demo's coming out next week, here's the date for the demo, that would even be more of a kick in the balls, because that's even closer to, that's even closer to release. But Nemesis Biohazard can't wait to see U3 under the RE engine. In the RE4 remake, and Regenerators and Iron Maidens. Oh yeah, man, all of the above. I want to see it, especially the Regenerators. Can't wait. Cannot wait. I think spoilers are going to start coming out right now. You know what I mean? Like this week, next week. I just want to put that out there, guys. It's going to be stolen. It's going to be covered by IGN, GameSpot, and Game Informer even more. Because Capcom gives the A-OK for some of these bigger outlets to upload the first 4 hours of gameplay, the first 2 hours of gameplay. Remember when Village came out? Remember they showed you the first 2.5 hours, 3 hours of, castle footage that was just there? And that's when me and John were like, you know what? We're not even going to cover this because we covered everything. We talked about the demos, and at this point, it was so close to release that you might as well wait. So unfortunately, while it gets shipped out to retailers and people take it home, or it gets covered officially, the spoilers will be out there more than what's already out there now, because at least with the trailer 3 and the Capcom B-roll, it was officially released. Now, whether or not they show too much is a matter of opinion, right? So it's one of those things where, you could say, okay, even though it was officially released, they probably showed too much of the Krauser fight, or probably showed too much of this or that. I understand that, but the next couple of weeks, it's going to be pretty insane, and I'm not going to be covering them, so you're safe here. You're not going to see a clickbait thumbnail of a spoiler or something weird like that. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that. I'm not that kind of person. I'm going to cover it legit, obviously, the legit stuff that we get, and of course, the demo and the breakdown of the demo is going to be the big, that's going to be the next big thing before the release that I cover, in this whole road to Resident Evil 4 Remake. So the merchant has his own storyline. Well, I think they'll connect the merchant to the Duke like they already are. That's already confirmed. But I think that's, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Rational Livic says, make sure to record your first playthrough on both the demo and the game so I can come back to it. Stop and start the video if it runs too long. Yes, Rational Livic, you got it, man. First playthrough of the demo, I will be recording it. My first playthrough of Resident Evil 4, if I get an early copy, will be recorded. So even if I live stream and do the 24-hour stream and I already played it, the plan is that same exact day, I will be dropping my blind playthrough, my first reaction for everything. So that is going to be the plan. Even if I get it early, that first playthrough will be recorded. I'm looking forward to a second run too, says Cannibal. Hell yeah, man. Can't wait. Anthony says, do you think the eggs can be given to the lone wolf like in the original? I don't remember giving eggs to the wolf, but If they added that, I'd be down. Elf Angel, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a little while. Hope you've been well. And thanks for still hanging around. Longtime supporter and subscriber in the house. Thank you. He says, hey Anthony, I noticed that Japanese version of Salazar uses super polite and respectful language with Leon, with Leon, and of course he does not. Well, that's the thing too. I think while Leon is going to be a little bit more like pissed off, he has that very like meticulous, polite kind of approach. But I haven't seen the Japanese version stuff yet. But again, there is always those differences, right? So that's pretty cool to see. Hope you've been well. Let me know what you're looking forward to, Elf Angel, the most in RE4 Remake. I'd like to hear some thoughts. It's been a while since I've seen you in the chat here. This remake looks like they're keeping mostly everything, and it might be the best RE remake since RE1. Yes, Venom. A lot of people are saying that. It very much could be. Dylan says, hey, man, look at me right on time. Sorry, I was playing RE4 VR. So addicted. Hell yeah, Dylan. That is a great addition to that. I love RE4 VR. It was awesome. I think we're way ahead than GameStop. Exactly. Leon's been hitting the gym. Yes, he has. Are they sending you a review copy like most viewers get from studios? Well, Dwayne, this is a question from Dwayne. What's up, Masai, as well? He's here. He says, yo, fingers crossed that I get, I'm part of the Capcom Creators program, which, enables me to get, certain things early if I can, or I can request codes. But the thing is that I'm guaranteed a code no matter what in terms of like when it comes out. But they also have a thing where you can request review copies. And obviously, because I want to review it, I do reviews, and that's part of what I do here when I cover these RE games in and out. And so I did obviously send in a request. Sorry, I had to sneeze there. I sent in a request, but within doing so, they mentioned that, it's a lot more stricter this time, and the actual Capcom PR team has to look through it this time. So there's going to be a lot more. It's going to be a lot harder to get a review copy. Let's just say that. So that's why I have to keep my options open. When I joined the Capcom Creators Program, it was promised that we would be, guaranteed early copies, review copies. So here we are, about a year and some change in, and I got the Village, DLC early and stuff, and that was awesome. I was able to review it, cover it, released it when the embargo was up. But I really would like to get the RE4 early because it would benefit the channel. I can work on videos, multiple videos. I can have a full playthrough ready to go day one. I can then live stream it and stuff like that. I just hope that it happens. Thank you, Anthony. But yes, I hope it happens. But again, I don't want to put all eggs in one basket. I'll just be doing that. You should do a collab with John or Biohazard Declassified for a review after you guys play it. Well, Merciful, I will definitely be reviewing it, on my own terms or in a own video or a podcast form. But that's not to say that I can always have and further the RE4 discussion, because I think when I'm covering the remake and when I'm talking about it, I would like to obviously, write out my scripted video and go through everything and write stuff down as I'm playing, like go all out like I did with, the Village DLC, which is like my first time I ever got something early. So I was trying to kind of, practice with that. But, more collaborations for podcasts or discussions can always happen that are on the topic of RE4, because I'm sure that's what we'll be talking about for a long time after anyway. So never say never with that. The entire gameplay will be released in the next week or so due to other countries getting it earlier. Mark my words. Yeah, exactly, Nemesis. And you know what happens also? It gets stolen. It gets sent out to distributors and different stores, and like people steal the discs. They don't care, and it happens all the time. So it's going to happen, and that's why you got to be. And yes, the whole other country thing, yes, that could happen. Having Mercs as DLC is stupid, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's free, but it's. I just wish that they could keep it in there. DLC wasn't a thing when it originally released, so they can stay faithful and give us the Dead Space style remake where it was the base game, and if they want to expand everything, DLC would be sick. Yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to say Separate Ways could be DLC, just later. They could put it out 6 or 8 months later, you know what I mean? I don't think it'll be day one, or it could be unlockable, but that might not happen now with how RE kind of sets it up. Matthew still wants Dr. Salvador in the main game, but at the very least, I hope he returns in the Mercenaries. I think he will. Hopefully, YouTube doesn't decrypt the playthrough like it did with Village. Yeah, well, the thing is, Merciful, the big thing that I've changed about my ways, and just, me and John have learned through the years of streaming, don't put your stream over 12 hours. Don't get close to 12 hours, because chances are you'll forget, and it will split up the stream and it will not save. If you go 12 hours over a stream on YouTube, it will not archive the whole bit of the stream. And unfortunately, we missed our first playthrough from when we, not the whole playthrough, but the back half of the game, Ethan fighting Heisenberg onward, because of the whole YouTube. We didn't split it up properly. We didn't record it locally either, which is a big mistake. That's all changed. I have all that like figured out. I'm locally recording this stream, right? So it's all trial and error, This chat group and LTRE crew is awesome, and no toxic BS in here. Exactly. We try to keep it positive, keep it, cool. Do you think they will cut anything? If anything, I could see them cutting, maybe little sections in, I don't know, like little sections on the island, like the wrecking ball knocking down the, or the truck scene. I think that could be cut, I wouldn't be pissed about that when Ashley's driving the truck. They should send you something for the type of YouTube channel you are, Resident Evil channel. Capcom must have seen your channel. Well, definitely Capcom Creators has seen the channel, and which is good. I don't know if any Capcom themselves. I mean, Capcom Creator is Capcom, but like it's a team that's dedicated to looking, for channels like me, or reviewing or seeing what kind of reviews I do. So yeah, definitely have been on their radar, and it's really cool. And I appreciate that, man. I really hope that, I get that and I can get a copy. Obviously, they all send it digitally. So, but obviously, when I get a copy, it'll be like one of those things where, there won't be, it's go time. Like if I get a copy, I'm not going to be saying anything about it. I'm just going to be working. And, yeah, I'm saying like a true brand new content, like Assignment Wesker would be dope. Oh, you mean like Dylan was mentioned, like new content? Honestly, I wouldn't even mind if there was a Luis story. Like a little Luis thing. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Assignment Wesker would be cool, but even something with Luis, I wouldn't mind seeing if it was like new. Or Operation Javier, like you just said, Dylan. That'd be awesome. Elf Angel says, I'm looking forward to them remixing some things to surprise us, like RE2 Remake played with our expectations. Yeah, definitely. I just think I think they're going to do a good job at keeping it in tune with what we know and love, and we'll be able to have a really good time. It'd be pretty cool seeing you and John playing the game, doing along with Dustin being there as well. Well, like I said, it's just a matter of, I love doing the 24-hour streams, and obviously, like I said, never say never, to any of those ideas. But it's going to be a very fun month regardless. And I know John's also very busy as well with his content, and just life in general has been busy for all of us. So, when the time's right, the time will be right. Anthony, it would suck if they let you interview or make a podcast with Ampo. Yeah. If I did it with, Hibulashi and Ampo, I would I don't know, I'd probably crap myself. No, I don't know. It would be kind of wild, but it's always other people doing it, so it's all good. Probably for the best that the RE Village stream got cut towards the end. Y'all were destroying the story of that game. Well, I mean, we were being honest, and I don't care if it's not there. If it was there, I would want it to be there, because I just don't give a fuck, It's like one of those things, like, you just have to say what you fucking mean. And that was us being raw and our fresh reaction, you know what I mean? So, and I feel like that was definitely talked about more and fleshed out more in the podcast that, that we recorded on Village. So, Rambo in the house, man. Hope you're well. Really enjoyed the stream last night, man, with you and Dead Pit. Yeah, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've been getting through the bullshit with fucking YouTube and stuff like that. So, let's see. He says, sorry, I haven't followed anything with the game at all. Haven't seen a trailer, new weapon so far. It's mostly older weapons. I do think they'll have Chicago typewriter. They'll probably have some new weapons like a bolt thrower. I think they'll bring back the Chicago typewriter and the PLR blaster, which would be cool. But yeah, it looks like we're getting an MP5. We're getting all the original weapons as well. So I think it'll be a very nice selection of the arsenal. I don't know which charm I'll use first. I'm not sure. We'll see. There is going to be a couple different charms I could use. Are the filters a tip of the hat to what they will change with the story? Filters, what do you mean? Krypton Gaming says the game better launch at midnight on the 24th. Not a time gated release like what happened with Dead Space. Yeah, I know. That was 11 a.m. it released. That's what I'm saying, man. That's why if I don't get a copy early, it is definitely going to, suck. Because I'm going to have to, it's just going to be all over the place. And we barely made it for Village, but I don't know. I hope it's not as well. Masai hates this era of DLC. My God, he says. Have separate ways in the main game than the DLC featuring Krauser's story where you see what he does and see him communicating with Wesker. Yeah, I mean, I think separate ways can also just show more Krauser as well. I can show that interaction because we do see Ada interact with Krauser. She even fights him in separate ways. So, we'll see if they show more of that. Dylan says, dude, the gore looks amazing and I can't wait. Absolutely decimated Ganado with the Skull Shaker deluxe shotgun, even though it's essentially the Western custom and should have been an RE3. It should have been, man. But yeah, I can't wait to use that shotgun. That's going to be awesome to shoot it and just click it back. Nemesis says it's cool that Mission Javier and Darkside Chronicles was mentioned in RE4 Remake during the knife fight, and I hope that we can play as DLC. A lot of people want Operation Javier DLC, and I wouldn't mind it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind some more backstory within the game instead of playing it in another side game. Yeah, hopefully we get more, we get, I agree, Bassam, we get some more, beefier remakes and maybe some Dino Crisis remakes. I hope so. I really like the boards item that makes for more survival feel. Yeah, and you can still barricade shit too, which is pretty cool. Rationalific says Village was just not the best RE game. It would have been better just as a non-RE game. I like the honesty. Yeah, man. I mean, that's just what I'm trying to do. I try to just be honest with you guys because, Rambo and Dead Pit were kind of talking about this in their stream about the whole, everybody has to be positive. You can't say anything negative nowadays. You can't say, about your opinions. And it's even if the majority of people like a movie or like a game, they just think you're being a hater. You're just being negative. And it's I'm just trying to be honest. And when you're a passionate fan, the passion, shines through. And I'm also not going to be, holding back on, anything ever. And that's just the way it was. It was the same way with, Callisto and Dead Space. So I just don't, I don't want people to get it twisted and ever think that we're just trying to attack it or I'm trying to attack it in a certain way, if I'm not liking whatever it is. But for this, obviously, I'm going to be honest with you right now. It looks great. I'm staying positive towards it because everything I've seen looks great. Once I get my hands on it, I'm going to be as honest as I can. If I get a review copy, I'll be as honest as I can. These things all, just trying to be, upfront about it. And also just to, give you guys a perspective from a longtime fan. You think there will phase RE9? I'm trying to see what he says here. Hold on. So you think that they will phase out RE series after RE9? Like RE9 would be the last RE? I don't think so. I think it makes too much money for them to stop. And it's been going on for 27 years, so why stop now, Yeah, I can't wait to see him mutated Dylan. I agree. Uh, Hopefully, I could travel to New Zealand to play this game. Yeah, or you just make a New Zealand account. You know, there's always that. Uh, do you think the firing range and bottle caps will return? I think so, Nolan. I think the firing range was already spotted, I think, or talked about somewhere. I forget where. Promises instead of DLC, maybe Rev 3 can be about Operation Javier. You know, that would be cool, but I don't know if we need a whole game for that. Yeah, the toxic positivity. Yes, Rambo. That's it right there. That's what I was referencing there. Matthew with the $3 super chat says, "What's an old mechanic you like to see return?" Oh man, I mean, we already saw a couple things return, but man, I hope that. I'm trying to think. A mechanic return. I mean, like we already got a lot of the old stuff back with the new stuff. Jesse and James are upstairs, merciful. They're upstairs. Um, they're sleeping probably. Uh, Damn, an old mechanic. Well, you know, there could be. I don't know. I'm kind of stumped on that question. I don't know because everything I've seen so far has been like But yeah, a fixed camera angle mode that would be fun, right? If we want to get pretty fun with it, yeah, fixed camera angle mode would be pretty funny. I love the honesty. Way too many people kiss ass. RE tubers out there. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm just trying to break through the saturation. I've been being honest for 13 years on this channel, so I continue to I want to continue to do that. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if I'm like a Capcom creator or they sent it. Like I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm not gonna. There's no like contract or things that I can say or can't say because a lot of people were asking that when I became a Capcom creator of like, does that affect what I say? Can I not say certain things? Like, no. Like I can say what I want. Like if I'm reviewing something, I'm reviewing something. If they don't give me a review copy because of like maybe what I said about like Village or something like that, like or the Village DLC. I don't think that will be the case because when I sent in my application for the Village DLC, I sent them my review or our review for Village that me and John did, and it wasn't really like a positive review, but they still saw it because they were like, well, send us an example of what you've reviewed before. And I'm like, okay, well, Village. And they still sent me the DLC. So it's like, I'm happy because it's like, it's just my opinion. I'm not like crapping on the game. They see the channel name. They know what it's about. They're not, stupid. But this RE4 process being a lot more stricter, we'll see what ends up happening, Yeah, if everything was great, then nothing would be great. Then the ups and downs, there are ups and downs, and I think we're close to an up. Yeah, especially for this one. Yeah, we did see Merc spotted. RE Village and 7 should have been the spin-off titles instead of direct sequels to RE6. Just my opinion. Nemesis, a lot of people do feel that way. They definitely had more of a spin-off vibe than a main Resident Evil vibe most of the time. Stifty50 says, you didn't see my comment, but we were talking about Leon's jacket. So my thought is if they could add Leon's jacket as a costume, yeah, that would be awesome. Just to always have the bomber jacket on, I'd be down. I think they'll have something like that. Definitely not going to be bound by a squeamish PC. Got to tell it like it is. That's what I'm saying, man. Like I just don't care. Like, and I just don't care. I'll rant when I want to rant, and I'll scream and yell when I want to scream and yell, and I'll talk calmly for everybody when you want me to talk calmly. But I will be, just as honest as I fucking can. I can't wait to see Wesker, that RE engine. That's going to be killer. And I agree for that. I can't wait. I cannot wait to see Wesker in that RE engine. Yeah, I mean the main takeaway from 7 and Village is definitely Chris, but the fact that they wrote him just so poorly in the last one really sucks. Gen 56 says, I remember somebody said RE4 is copying off Village when the first RE4 remake trailer came out. Like, RE4 came out 18 years ago. It's the other way around. Exactly. Some people just don't get it, and they weren't around for a while, and they're going to say that stuff. Now, it really did take that template, and that's why Village was played up more with the action, and it was more action paced. That was like, it works the other way around. You're right. Some people just don't know. The mechanic that I saw on the other classic, the Molotov can burn other Ganados invisible when doing like action melee, climbing stairs, and busting through doors. Yeah, I still want to keep the mechanic where I can smack them with the doors. That was always fun. I always love doing that. Pile them up with the pipe bombs that they keep throwing, explode them. Elf Angel says it's very good that they do not choose channels that they don't choose channels with positive feedback only. It is very important to hear constructive criticism. Exactly, Elf Angel. And I'm not some troll. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not some dude that's just like, doing this for no reason. And again, that's what I said to people when I was officially in the partner program and stuff like that. I was like, it still doesn't guarantee me all these copies or whatever, because there's still, like, for something like RE4, there's a lot more restrictions and red tape just to get a review copy. So hopefully, though, I can do that, and again, just be honest with you guys and do what I can. But we'll see what happens. New Game Plus, I think, is going to be in there. I think that's safe to say. Typewriter, infinite ammo, all that stuff. Chicago typewriter, that is. How many times do you think it'll take for the first loot of mods to come out? Oh, man, I don't know. Maybe like the first week or so. They are pretty quick with it, especially if they're used to modding the other games. Personally, I enjoyed 8, but 7 and 8 are flawed, says Eric. Both games felt more like practice demos for the RE engine. Yeah, I mean, I think it was them just trying to get back this era they kicked off with RE7, when they came back with the RE engine and they were coming back as a company and making making a lot more money and having it more successful. What's going on, Ty? And you got Pepe in here. He's counting the days to see the regenerator. We all are. But yeah, I think the RE engine, at this point, it's at an all-time high, and I can't wait to to obviously see where they go next, like to see where this takes them. Matthew says I wouldn't mind seeing the slide attack return from RE6 or burn enemies like in RE1. Oh, like the slide attack or the quick shot, the poof, right in the head. That'd be kind of cool. Jen says, did you notice there's a female zealot in the last gameplay video? It's the one that shoots the arrow at Leon in the castle. He parries it. Okay, I probably noticed that section, but I didn't notice that was the female zealot. It was called just like Zealot Ganado in the press release thing, but that's pretty cool. I mean, I think it's cool that they are showing the cultists. I love the look of them. I love, the helmets. I love how it looks. I love the bald cultist with the tattoos, the scripture on them and stuff like that. Like, all that stuff is really just cool little details that are cool. The village will probably be the demo, but I'm kind of hoping there'll be some rain sections that we could see if they've been improved or altered, says Mike N. Well, I never had a problem with the rain to begin with. I'm just going to be honest there. But I don't think there'll be rain in the demo, but we'll see. It's great to speak your mind on RE, Anthony. Always be your true self, man. Exactly. And that's what I know brings you guys back here and brings you back to the channel. And there's like a million other YouTubers, not even just RE YouTubers, but there's just a bunch of YouTubers out there nowadays. It's super saturated. And I want to give you guys a reason to come back here. And that's for my personality and, for me to speak my mind. So, let's see. Name from a long time ago? What are you talking about, Anthony? Can't wait to see the puzzles. Yeah, Rain, I can't wait. I just walked to my local GameStop. They had the actual game case for RE4. So surreal. 17 more days. Damn, Danny. Did they have Game Informer? Did they have that RE4 Game Informer? It was fun talking with you in chat, but I have to go see it in the next stream. Take care, Stifty50. Thanks for joining. Appreciate that. But yeah, guys, I'll probably do another, 5 minutes here. And I'll try to just wrap it up. So anything you want to, bring up in the chat, I'm caught up on the chat. You guys have been cool. I've been on here for about 2.5 hours now, which is cool. I like doing these discussions. I like, talking to you guys about this stuff. This is all good. This is all good stuff. I'm really happy that there is going to be, the hype train. It's starting. Well, it's already started. It's well started, but it's just going to continue to grow, especially as we get these um, demo, our hands on the demo, get the gameplay, stuff like that. Um, and of course, I just want to say, oh, nice. We got Garrett in here. Born to be a rat says, driving home from work, just stopping to say what's up. Hope you're good, man. Garrett, what is up, brother? Really enjoyed your stream last night as well, man. Rat up all night. Garrett's like me. He's always up late. Finding the time to get creative and live stream when you can. I'm the same way. It's like anytime, any little free time you have, you're like, you know what? I'm just going to go live spontaneously. And I like that. I love to see it. And keep up the great content over there, man. Yeah, man, can't wait to hopefully hang out soon with you at a convention one of these days. It'll happen again. We hung out at Chiller for a little bit. That was awesome. So hopefully we can do it again at another con. And can't wait to see your live streams and videos, man. Really enjoy your content. Every chance I get to check it out, I watch it. And hell yeah, man. Hope you're doing good. Can't wait for your part 2 of the room tour. Cannot wait for that. And no problem, Anthony. He says, thanks for streaming today. Yeah, man. I didn't mind doing a little Hangout stream. I obviously want to reserve some of my time to work on videos this week before we're streaming the demo. Danny says, no Game Informer in there. That's the reason I went. Damn. Yeah, see, I got to call mine, so I don't, drive all the way there, and I'm like, oh, man, they don't even have it. And I just get bummed they don't got it. Which voice actors are reused in different roles? I don't know in this one. We don't really know. As far as in this one, obviously, Jeff Shine is... Jeff Shine was in, Carlos' role, and then he was in Chris's role in Village, so that was one, obviously, repeating thing. But with this one, I don't think they really did, Do you have schedule on streaming? So I usually try to stream weekly. Usually I try to go for, Monday through Thursday. I haven't really been as consistent with it this year as I would have liked to be. But anytime I stream, I try to make the events ahead of time. So anytime I stream, it's just going to be, 5 p.m. onward, because that's when YouTube likes people to stream basically at night. At least that's what it seems to work for me anyway. So I'm really happy that it's been working. But yeah, it hasn't been a true consistent schedule, but I do live stream weekly. I'm always live weekly, and it's always archived and stuff like that. This year has been a little weird with scheduling, because even though I do this, this is what I do, right? Content, but it's always just there's just always different shit I have to do for videos and editing and everything else. So sometimes streaming all that stuff, in a row, you know what I mean, or different series in a row. But usually it's 3 times a week, 3-4 times a week. I mean, it's been still around that number, thankfully, this past year. But I've just been trying to come up with the flow for how I can do this RE4 stuff, leading up to the release. So, yeah. I try to release a couple videos a week, live stream a bunch, in the week, and just try to keep it going. Thank you, guys. I got Matthew Webster with a $2 super chat. Says, how many Krauser fights do you predict? I'll say 3. I'll probably say 3, maybe 4 if you include a Separate Ways fight. I think that can easily be something they can have in there. Just different sections of the fight. Appreciate that. JS, what's up? $4.99 super chat. Let's see. Dylan Schneider. JS Dylan Schneider says, thanks for the coverage, content, and chatting. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat, man. Appreciate that, Ty, saying I'm always going to be the GOAT. I try to keep the content consistent for you guys and, have all the live streams pretty much finished. The series of live streams, I caught up. The last thing I did was I beat Silent Hill. I did the RE4 VR, so I kind of had a clean slate. And then I did the RE marathon. So I did a bunch of RE, marathons in the past, but that was a long one, and it was very fun. So check out that live stream that I did. Holding live discussions like this is great. Thanks, brother. Anyway, take care. Thank you, John. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, I definitely am trying to do these more as well. just because, again, it's a direct interaction with the chat. I'm not playing a game, but we can just generate a bunch of discussion from this, and it's cool. Messiah says the pre-order auto download time is March 22nd at 11, so people who pre-order the game get it 2 days early. Well, for download, yeah. Sir Riffs-A-Lot says, yo, excited about potential demo drop this week. Hell yeah, Sir Riffs-A-Lot. I cannot wait, man. I'm going to be streaming Thursday, so I guess I should plug this now. I will be streaming Thursday. This Thursday, Capcom Spotlight event. All right, there's 114 of you in here still, so obviously I want you guys to, just mark your calendars. I'm going to make the event probably after this live stream. I will be live covering the Capcom Spotlight event where we're going to potentially get that demo either drop on that day, hopefully, maybe the Friday, maybe the week after that. I don't know, but hopefully they do that. Are you doing more marathons before RE4 comes out? Yes. The Brawny. The answer is yes. I don't know if I'm going to be doing an 18-hour marathon like I did last time. That was pretty crazy. I just recovered from that. But I think the marathon will be broken up into more parts. There'll be lengthier streams though. So instead of maybe 12 hours apart, it'll be 8 hours apart. Little things like that. And I'm sure you guys already talked about it, but RE4 is 67 gigs on Xbox. Yes, Ty, we were talking about that a little bit earlier, but yeah, I'll say it again. 67 gigs. That did come out today for the RE4 news. But that's it, guys. That's it, and that's that. Thank you all for coming by. Thanks for always chatting it up. Thanks for always coming by, dropping a like, super chatting, supporting me, signing up for the members. All that helps me out a lot. Obviously, there's Patreon down there as well. That also helps me out. You get the same content on memberships and Patreon, of course. And LTRE is on Discord. It's on the socials as well. LTRE on, or LTRE.store for the merch that's down below. You can see all the LTRE merch there. And, of course, this podcast is always on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Libsyn, all that good stuff. And I have another podcast episode coming up soon. It's going to be, I'm going to be editing it soon once I get some time to edit it after all the other stuff I have in front of it. And stay tuned for that. There will also be another podcast as well after the demo, where I do a demo discussion podcast and everything I feel about RE4 so far, just in one long show. I know the LTRE podcast, I've been trying to build up the momentum for that as well. Same thing with the last year. I don't know what the fuck it was, but I was just trying to get more guests and get people on. And I'm going to try to continue to do that this year and just knock it out of the park. Darnizzler says, I'm just so hyped for the game. Honestly, an excellent Dead Space remake turned out. I can't wait for RE4. Yeah, we were getting spoiled, man. We're getting spoiled. Thank you, Elf Angel. Thank you, Rationalific. Appreciate that. Thunders Productions, take care. Thanks to all the members, Nick, Cannibal, Anthony, all you guys, supporters, non-supporters, doesn't matter if you're just watching it, liking it. Appreciate that. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a comment down below. Join the LTRE community. And stay tuned as the road to Resident Evil 4 Remake continues.